Flashing lights, baby. Flashing lights everywhere.
Niggas was saying shit about me. They didn't even fucking know me. This is my story. This is what I was doing when wasn't nobody looking.
Y'all don't know what goes on in practice or the locker room.
Welcome back to Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog Fantasy. Whoa, whoa! You was smoking, Gil? Was cracking?
No, just
okay. Just
got the Underdog glasses, so I just figured, fuck it.
Oh, okay, I see.
Just sit on the side.
Some of us got Underdog glasses. Some of us do not. Send the glasses, Tim. How'd your teams do last night?
Wait, who are your teams again?
Huh?
Bucks. Oh, damn. Well, my team is out. So
Bucks and Clippers.
But he lost both.
Yeah.
Shit,
We 1-1. We still, we 50% right now.
Okay, doing all right. This is Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog Fantasy. As always, we got the legend Gilbert Arenas here with us.
Hi.
Gil, the chat has been noticing that you really upped the wardrobe in recent weeks. They want to know what's going on.
I go in my closet. Just grab stuff.
He lying. He lying. Might be picking them outfits out. Go on.
You pick your own outfits out?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's his own stylist.
I never had nowhere to put them on.
That's
You put them on
fair.
downstairs.
That's fair.
Yeah, I just put clothes on now to come downstairs. I don't go nowhere.
That is a flex. We got Lexi Brown back in the building, repping the tough crowd. Okay.
Yeah,
Friendship bracelets and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's all good.
of course.
Training camp around the corner. We're getting a little sad.
Are y'all gonna miss me?
Yep.
Are we gonna be at your game?
We're gonna be at the game.
We're gonna be
Yeah,
at
you
there.
better be at the games.
A little discount. Can we get a little discount?
No.
No. Okay.
Support the W.
You're right.
Support the
Full
W.
price. Full price. You're right. Full price.
Full price.
And we got the dream killer, Rashad McCants, back in the building. So you had to chop him down.
No, it's been down the whole time.
Okay, I will.
Just got a little, got a roof modifications. Sometimes you gotta keep the hat on, you know? Shit.
It's all good. About to be summertime, so you get that full.
Yeah, gotta match it out.
Here's what's cracking in the arena today. Ant-Man struggled in game 2, but the Wolves still got the win over the Suns. But are the Suns officially on sweep watch? Kawhi made his comeback, but it was Luka magic on both sides of the ball in the Mavs game 2 win over the Clippers. We got to give Luka some love for his defense. And Pascal Siakam had another 30-piece for the Pacers to help them steal game 2. But will the Bucks bounce back in game 3? And when is Giannis coming back? It may not be for a while, according to some reports. But before we get into all that, as always, this show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Download the app, use promo code GIL. They will match your first deposit up to $100. I tell you the same thing every single day. Some of you guys are listening, some of you have not. Download the app, use promo code GIL. And if you act right now, we got a free pick'em for you to help get you started. And to all the Floridians out there, Underdog is now live in Florida with Champions. Champions is a player versus player game. Just pick the higher or lower on your favorite players, climb the leaderboard, and win up to 100x in a single night. Underdog's got promotions going on all week for Florida users to celebrate the launch. So if you are a Floridian, make sure to download the Underdog Fantasy app. And as always, use promo code GIL. You don't understand how vital and important that is. They track all the people who use the promo code. It helps our bag, helps keep this show on the air. So help us help you. And as always, we do MostlyFans at the end of every show. So if you drop a good question in the chat with your Underdog Fantasy username and we use that question on the show, you get a $50 bonus to your Underdog Fantasy account. If you send us a video to mostlyfansgil@gmail.com and we use that video on the show, you get a $100 bonus to your Underdog Fantasy account. And we do this show live Monday through Thursday on YouTube, but some of y'all got work, other things to do. Y'all got work, but you can watch, or you can get audio versions on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, if anybody took my fabulous pics yesterday, I know you mad, because
Got you, bitch.
oh man, I was like Anthony Edwards out there, boy. I was 1 for 5.
All right, well,
I ain't win either.
They was good too. They look good too.
It's
What did you
playoff
pick
basketball.
Anthony Edwards to do?
No, I didn't hear him do nothing. I had that kind of performance.
Yeah,
it was rough.
Before it was rough.
Ah, it was rough.
Yeah.
Playoff basketball different though. I'm finding out.
He
Like you got to go
double-teamed
lower
him.
on
Every time he had
everybody.
the ball, he had 2 people on him immediately.
Different now.
Man, I know people like, man.
Jared Allen will get you good.
No, I don't.
Go over on him and rebounds. He always gonna get you 15 or more.
Who?
Jared Allen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jared Allen get you rebounds. Everybody else move around.
Move around. So we got some major news in the football world. Former USC running back Reggie Bush is getting his Heisman Trophy back. Give it up for Reggie. Always good to see it wrong. Get right. The decision comes amid what the Heisman Trust calls enormous changes in the college football landscape, mainly players now being able to earn money through NIL. I feel like Johnny Manziel's doc had a little something to do with it because he was clocking big bread during his college football days and still got to keep his Heisman. Signing autographs, slanging dope, doing a little bit of everything. Bush said his Heisman.
My God, his shirt.
What are we doing?
Relax.
Okay. Let me see.
Sergio Tacchini is getting a little hot.
The Tacchini.
God, please.
Encourage affection, devotion.
Hugs, encourage, affection, devotion.
That's not the type of head I want.
What do you mean? He was complaining about how women don't care about y'all's feelings. That should be exactly what
You're
you
right.
want.
Did I say that?
You said that.
Okay, then I agree.
Well, look, if you get one, you get the other.
Oh, okay.
So you got to play the game right. Play the game right. You know,
Rashad said he need head, and Reggie Bush said he need his Heisman Trophy back.
we gotta get something. Somebody gotta get something.
Look,
He gave it up.
I wouldn't have, but I feel like he had to give it back, or they took it from him.
Like, yeah,
they
did they,
pulled
like,
up to the
come
crib.
So you pulled up to
House
my house
and
to
take
come
his
get it.
trophy?
You're not
If I
answering
didn't
the
give
door.
it to you, then what?
Take it
Yeah,
to
you know
jail.
me.
This wasn't the feds. This who came to get it?
You don't know the NCAA, the feds?
No, not the real one. You can't put me in jail for this, right?
Yeah, I just want to know how that process
No, they
went.
banned them from campus. They couldn't come
You had
back
to
to
mail
campus.
it back
Huh?
or something?
Couldn't come back to campus.
Okay, I can't come back to campus just like you can't come to my house.
Seems like a fair trade.
Now he gets it back.
So for those who don't remember, Bush had his Heisman forfeited in 2010 after the NCAA imposed sanctions on USC, which included Bush receiving improper benefits during his college career from 2003 to 05, where he was a member of 2 national championship teams at USC. So for those of you that don't remember what Reggie was doing on the field back in those days and how much money he was bringing to the school, nothing was improper about the benefits he was getting because he deserved his chips with dips. But when you guys hear that Reggie's getting his Heisman back, how do y'all feel?
I don't think he should have lost it in the first place because everyone from college athletes
Everyone
for how
getting
long
paid.
we've been living has been getting perks, has been getting money, has been getting whatever. So to try to pull that move on someone, it was dumb. Like, you know everyone has benefit from it. So to take an award, you might as well just take every Heisman award. You don't think the other Heisman got benefits when they were playing? Of course, they were the best player, right? So you could have literally just said, hey, I'm taking every Heisman away from everyone because I know you guys took money. So just to point him out was wrong, but I'm glad they've made that right.
Lexi, how you feel about Reggie Bush getting
Yeah,
his Heisman back?
I mean, I agree. But it was like they were trying to make an example out of him and nothing changed. I would say everything got worse. So for them to take this long to right this wrong, I mean, that's kind of annoying, but I'm glad that, they're acknowledging that things are different now. And
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that they also come out and be like, it was kind of harsh for us to do that, but they probably won't do that. I mean, but I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him.
I mean, they passed the NIL, right?
NIL's been around for a few years now.
That's like all the niggas that got locked up for weed, and then all of a sudden,
Still in
you know what I'm
jail.
saying? It's like the same thing. But to me, it's like, you can make this right, you gotta make it right for Maurice Clarett. Make it right for him. Y'all fucked his whole shit up.
Him and it would be Mike Williams too.
Mike Williams too. Like, I mean, all the shit that y'all, if you're gonna backtrack it, let's backtrack it. It's a lot of backtracking to do.
Reparations check.
See, that's the okay now.
Slippery slope.
Now, just like you said, that's a slippery slope. I don't like the. In theory, I don't like the idea of moving backwards when something passes, right? So when these people, just let's say weed, whatever, it was illegal then, right? So what you did then was considered breaking the law, right? So you fast forward, it's legal now. You can't go back and say, oh, everybody who broke the law then, it's legal now, so you guys get out of jail. Because if you do that in everything in life, right? Stuff that is legal today can be illegal tomorrow, and they can backtrack it. And you know what I mean? I just don't like the idea that when something passes, we move backwards, because that can go bad for everyone.
My thing is the reason why, though. Like, why was weed legal then?
Illegal?
It was illegal because they wanted to put more niggas in jail, right?
That's what pretty much everything in life.
Because that was our element of professionalism. It was our way of selling narcotics and pharmaceutical shit without being actual experts in the field. We knew how to do this shit on this level. It was a smaller level, right? So you look at all of the other situations in NCAA, the violations that happened, we didn't know about those violations. You didn't know that if you ate at somebody else's house or you took some lotion from somebody that would be a fucking violation.
No, seriously, the smallest
thing.
shit.
They wanted you to be ashy, Rashad.
Right?
They wanted you to be ashy.
So it was like
you couldn't take anything.
nothing. Yeah. So if you think about all of the violations then, and people got penalized and it fucked up their careers, to not be able to go back and right that wrong. And I get what you're saying. We can.
So what would be like? What would they do to right that? Because obviously they're like, okay, you get your trophy back, but like they're not like really doing anything else for the other guys that you're talking about. What would, like, just them acknowledging that it was wrong because like so much time has passed, money has been lost. Like,
yes, money's been lost, but not only the reputation restoration. Like Maurice Clarett suffered because the path that he had to go down, because he couldn't go to school, he couldn't get no degree, and then the destruction of the mental health going down those paths is like, my reputation is fucked up. Everybody's looking at me like the bad guy when I did what everyone else was doing or trying to do. So I'm not saying it needs to be a financial reparation, but it needs to be an acknowledgement that we fucked this up.
See, but that's what I'm saying. When you retroactive something, right? Everyone is gonna. You have to think about the worst examples, right? You can't look at anything for like Maurice. The NCAA fouled him and the government fouled him when they passed the law to say, yeah, you can go, and he enters, and then they retract it, right? That wrong should be fixed there,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What I'm saying now is when you pass a law today, right? You have to, okay, let's think about, the Bill Cosby situation. What happened back in the 50s and 60s that wasn't illegal.
Right.
By law.
Yeah.
By law, it wasn't illegal what they were doing. Disco biscuits and taking Quaaludes, that was the party drug.
Yep.
Right? As time passed, right, new laws applied and boom, boom, boom. So now people are like, oh, what happened to me? That is this? Okay.
It's illegal. It was illegal.
Okay, now I'm gonna retro my claim and then go after. That's what I'm saying. It's a very dangerous thing because what we think is cool today, drinking, taking shots, there's states that says if you give a girl a shot, that's illegal.
Yep.
Right? If you give a girl a shot and have sex with her, just one shot, that's illegal, right? So there's things that's been put into law that if you try to retro back it, everybody is jammed up, everyone. So it's like there's some things you just can't retro, so you have to think about the worst case scenarios on everything.
Right.
The best case and the worst, and see where it lies then.
But so for me, it's always a reputation thing because in our society, it's always about how people's perceiving you. And if your perception is being tarnished based on some fucking agreement with the NCAA saying that we want to outlaw this because we want to keep freshmen in school longer because he was that good as a freshman. And it's like, well, we need to put this in, hurry up, because he made us so much money his freshman year. Imagine if we was to keep these motherfuckers in here longer and longer and longer and not allow them to move out. So, I mean, I look at it like, I've always been fighting against NCAA. My whole thing with UNC was against NCAA. It was not against UNC. I just had to use them as an example. So using them as an example put us in a situation where it looked like it's me against them. But my reputation is not restored because it also helped move the NIL forward. Now we're moving towards a situation where every single university has to cover up their tracks about African American studies courses and how you're pushing the needle academically. So now I look back and I say, well, if we were to retroactively move the needle around, people would start to get their restoration. People would start to get their reputations restored because there was a lot of bullshit going on based on trying to get the university prestige and graduation rates up and having the coach look like he's all of this and all of that. Now Reggie Bush, he gets his Heisman, but that's not equivalent to money, but it does restore his reputation that he didn't do it.
But that's, I mean, I don't think they're like, whatever somebody feels about you is what they feel about you. Nothing changes people's opinion for the most part. But like somebody like Maurice, right? I think he can go back and say mock draft, I would have been top 5, top 10. Whatever the pay was then, he should be able to receive that.
That's what I'm on right there. That's
Right?
what I'm on.
It has nothing to do with that, like, we can't say what team gives it to him, but there's a collective of everyone, right? NCAA, whatever, they should be paying him that money because he didn't make it to the NFL because of something that was put in. It had nothing to do with him. You said, I'm free to go. Okay, I go. I get my agent. I'm getting ready for the draft.
And
then you
they
say,
took it back.
take it back. And then you
They
say, well,
took
you're
it
ineligible
back.
because we said it was okay to go out there. Like, wait, fuck that. So wherever he was projected to go, I think
He
that
get
money should be
for
given to him.
sure.
Yes.
But like, here's a
What year did that happen?
2005, 6?
6, yeah. Right before I came
It
out
should
of-
be like 5, 6,
maybe
right?
4. Yeah, it's disturbing though.
Like here's a retro. Like, what if we start retroing? What if everybody from the year 2000 back says, wait, hold on. They don't even do SATs anymore.
Right. Fact.
They don't even do SATs. I couldn't go to college because of
I couldn't
SATs.
get my SAT
right
up.
now, you see what happens now, because every athlete who didn't go to college because of their SAT score, right? That's Brandon Jennings too. But everybody who just couldn't go to college, and there was no. Remember, Brandon's the first one to go overseas. What about everybody who couldn't get in college because of it?
Now
Aren't they
get
bringing it back?
Now they get the opportunity to go to college.
They're bringing
Now-
it back, right?
Yeah, they're bringing it
Bringing it back when?
That shit is culturally biased.
But see, that's what I'm saying. So you have these gaps in society. It's like you took it away from because of COVID, right? So all these kids get to go in who never passed the SAT. Then you're gonna bring it back for kids to fill the SAT that can't go to college. You see where you can't.
Stupid.
But this is what they did with UNC. When I went against them, they didn't have a program in place for athletes who went to the draft or came out early that could come back and then re-enroll and then continue taking their courses. So they called it Carolina First or something, where now you can leave school early, come back, and go through the program
Whenever you want.
whenever you want.
And the school pays for it
And
still?
the school, you're still on the, I don't know if you're still on scholarship, but you're still in a program where you can still take the classes and still be on pace to graduate. That was not in before. That was caused because of my disruptors of saying, you guys put us through these courses to get us through these courses so that we could play, stay ineligible, and keep the fucking graduation rate where it is. So now you got something in place. That's all due to the fact that I'm shining the light on this shit. So now, from what you're saying now, it makes sense for if anything does happen for anybody, you want to leave early, you want to come back to school, there's something there for you because they had to make the wrong right. And that's all it really is all about, making the wrong right. Whether it's retroactive or not, pointing it out is, I think, the key.
Yeah, that's what I like. If you point it out and hey, we fucked up here, but now moving forward, the law starts from today going forward.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Reggie for getting his Heisman back, even though he went to the
Is
wrong
he the only
school.
one who ever lost it?
I think so.
Yeah. Even though he went to the wrong school, we riding with you, Reginald. So let's get into some basketball. The Athletic released their yearly anonymous players poll this week.
I hate these so much.
Interviewing. Okay, well, I had that question, so I know your answer now. But they interviewed 142 players between March 5th and April 11th, hitting them on a bunch of different topics. But was going to ask, how do you guys feel about anonymous player polls?
So dumb.
Lexi, you're not rolling.
No. You don't even get enough players to respond for it to even like be a valid.
And who's responding? That's what, like, is LeBron doing?
Yeah, it's
Who?
anonymous,
Like,
but it's like, because I remember we had one too. I don't even think, one year I got asked and like another year I didn't even get asked. So I don't even know how that process works. That year that everyone said that Candace is the most overrated player.
ooh.
I remember that. I was like, I did not vote that. That was not me. But after I saw that, I was like, the Athletic, y'all some messy, messy people over there.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, most like that's what I said. It's like it sounds like ESPN and there seems like that kind of talk. Most overrated, most underrated. Like, the fuck does it really mean? Like, most overrated means exactly what? What does that mean? That you're getting more praise
Than you deserve?
than you deserve,
That's weak.
right? Right? Is that what it means? Like, you know,
He get too much love.
you remember-
You get too
Who
much
was the most
love.
overrated? They voted Rudy, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Like,
in a
that don't
second.
got- that's-
Gobert got it.
basketball.
Westbrook averaged a triple-double. He was most overrated.
Right.
You see how that just doesn't...
That's just hate. It's setting
hate.
niggas up to
Like,
be haters.
that's what I said, it's-
I don't like that shit,
That's
because
what
it's
I
like,
said. Most overrated, most underrated. It doesn't... what does it really mean?
So, Gil, you need to come out with your own anonymous players poll with
No,
more
don't make it
Gil-centric
anonymous.
topics.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah, with your
say what you
Like all,
Worst hairline.
all the players complain about the voting and nobody knows anything, but when y'all got the chance to do some anonymous shit, y'all like, okay,
They can't wait to fucking do it.
Most underrated.
What?
How is that most underrated? If we all can pick one person, then he's not underrated,
Obviously,
motherfucker. Like,
obviously.
he's not underrated if we can pick who it is. Like, Siakam's most underrated.
Hey, y'all picked him out. Y'all don't have a list either.
You know what I mean?
Y'all-
It's just, we
first
just,
person that
like,
come in your head.
all it is some fucker in a small market that don't get praise because he's in a small market. Don't mean he's underrated.
You know what's funny?
Always my comment.
I got when I was in the league, I got voted. They used to ask this question to the guys for that type of poll, like, who is the guy who thinks they're better than what they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now, just see, that makes more sense than overrated, right? Like, who
Me
thinks
and
they're
like
better?
me, Dante Jones.
Yeah.
All the motherfuckers, we was all bravado niggas. We don't give a fuck. We arrogant as fuck.
who's the most confident?
Like the arrogant, who's the most arrogant that
Oh my
game don't
God.
match.
I used to cheer for that. I was like, yes, motherfucker, yo, fuck y'all.
Like I said, if you look in the NBA, when you're talking about like Trae Young, 26, 27, 11
He
is considered most
he is
overrated.
on that
Like,
list every year.
Every
Like you can't.
Every
That's not
year.
real. That's not
Hate.
real.
That is hate.
So
Age, for sure. age.
Let's talk about some of the topics I would like to get your opinion, even though it feels a little ESPN.
It should be called "Who Game Doesn't Match They Talk."
Facts. That would be me too. Fuck y'all. I still think I'm a GOAT.
So players were asked to give their pick for who is the GOAT. Speaking of GOAT talk, MJ got nearly 6% of the vote, but LeBron finished in second with a little over 42%. So in recent years,
Swap fears?
but we're going to get to it. In recent years, LeBron has closed the gap in the poll. In 2019, MJ has more than 73% of the vote compared to Bron's 11%. Last year, MJ was at 58%, Bron was at 33%. And Lexi, as you pointed out, one player polled, selector Paul Pierce, shout out.
What number is that out of 133.8%?
Who is the
more than one
133?
person?
Who are the 133? That's what I want to know.
And what percentage of that is the league? That's not even like a third of the league, is it?
Kobe Bryant getting 9.
It's less than a third. Yeah, like you should at least get 50% response rate to publish something.
Niggas ain't filling out no poll.
Okay, this is what I don't like. I don't like five categories.
What do you mean?
It's
I don't-
one vote?
Feels like one.
Yeah.
I don't like five categories.
There's twins.
Right? Because, right, Paul Pierce, right? That vote could have went to someone that actually is considered 1 or 2 or 3, right? Magic Johnson. I mean, he hasn't been considered a GOAT since 1989. So what is his name being up there? No one has Steph Curry as a GOAT, right? In the topic. So you're losing real votes to those 3 people. So that's what doesn't. You know what I mean? You got 6 people up here that are not even considered in this category. So what's the point of having them so people can just vote for them? So Curry fans is going to waste their votes voting for him versus Michael Jordan, LeBron, or Kobe.
But these are just players. They say, hey, who do you think is the GOAT? And they filled in the name. Wasn't like multiple choice.
So we know that everything was just a write-in answer? Do we know that?
It got to be multiple choice.
No way. No way they put Paul Pierce in multiple choice for this.
But no, if you got multiple choice, one person will be like, hey, I'm a big Paul. I like Paul.
Or other. Like,
yeah, I like Paul.
Yeah.
It's that one motherfucker that's like, I don't like none of these. I don't like none of these guys.
So they ask the question, you put the name in.
Now on the write-in votes, what is the actual number? What are the actual numbers to this? How many did Michael Jordan actually get?
Right. You got
60. Like how many? Like
133 votes cast. We can use our
almost a little less than half.
We can get our Doogie House.
It ain't enough. I feel like the poll shouldn't go up until 500 people or more get it. We get 133 ain't enough because then the numbers don't waver, man.
Just have Gil's Arenas chat.
Got my man Kobe at 9%. Yeah, ain't sleeping. Yeah, crazy.
What do y'all think about Bron closing the gap on MJ in current players' minds?
I mean, the players are younger now, so.
Talk about it, Lex.
That makes sense.
Talk about it, Lexi.
I don't think it's a dig at Michael Jordan.
Younger, but more access to technology, information to make more informed opinions.
Just got younger. Younger players grew up watching Bron be the GOAT.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Or just listening to the narrative that he is the GOAT.
Yeah.
When you push something, and you see it. Like when we came up, certain kids that was listening to Soulja Boy thought he was the best rapper alive. Because that shit was on the motherfucking radio every day.
Very solid marketing strategy.
Every day. Lil Wayne, best rapper alive. You know what I'm saying? You hear enough of it, you start to really adapt to it.
Shout out LimeWire and Napster.
But that's not to say that people shouldn't consider LeBron that, because he's a very good player. But it's like, look at the whole scope of it.
It's all criteria based. So because there's no criteria where we can sit there and just evaluate, then it's like what game looks how you vision it, right? That's all it really it is. If you're a defensive minded person in life, right, you're going to gravitate to more defensive style of players, right? Oh, I'm going to go with, this is what looks good for my standard, right? If you listen to like some of the older people and say, who are your GOAT, right? Their list looks ridiculous.
Yep.
But because of the style of play back then and who made them fall in love? That's really how it is.
Yep.
Who made me fall in love with this? That is my favorite player of all time.
Yep.
That's how that works.
But you get a lot of Dr. J's, Elgin Baylor's, guys like that. I mean,
Dr. J, for the most part, it's a Dr. J, because he made basketball look cool, right? The fro, the style, how he walked in. They said when he walked in, that was the first person that looked like he had a glow on him.
Yep.
Taking everybody's work according to reports.
How he dressed. So, a lot of people, there's a lot of people that age that says Dr. J is the best player ever played.
And like Isaiah Thomas say, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the Cap. When the Cap walk in, man, he was doing shit. We was just like, nobody gonna stop that fucking jump hook? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and even if you ask Michael Jordan who his GOAT is, it's not gonna be who you think. That's not gonna be who you think. And everybody has, like you said, based on your biased opinion on what you fucking like is who you going to choose. Why you fell in love with the game. That's why I can't put anybody else over who I fucking grew up and said, oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. Who's better than that? I remember watching this guy. He's very, very good, but he's better than him. I like him. Cool.
So when asked if they were building a roster from scratch, which player would they sign first? Wemby took the top spot with nearly 28% of the vote, followed by Joker, who was a close second with 27.2%. Ant-Man, Luka, and SGA rounded out the top 5. But I've got to ask this esteemed Gil's Arena crew.
That's weird. How LeBron go from being the GOAT?
The GOAT
Because
to
it's
I'm
39
not-
years old.
because he's 39, so they're gauging it right now in real time.
Right now.
And they're doing it in
What
real
does that? I still don't
He's
understand.
the NBA's oldest living Negro.
Listen, these dudes can't even do a coverage and pick and roll, and they're not thinking like that. They're thinking the same way we thinking. Like, why would you put LeBron down there if you just consider him behind Michael Jordan?
I don't think.
That's the body of work.
You know I'm a
You're
LeBron
looking right
fan.
now.
I'm not- at
Because
this
when they
current-
do it, they
current
say,
point.
who would you draft right now? And this is players?
Yes.
You're not saying at age 40, I'm not gonna.
No.
They not thinking.
This ain't right now. If you had to pick right now, like if I
Is
had
that
to pick,
what that- is that
if I'm
it?
picking number 1 and 2, that's probably exactly how I'll go. Wemby and Jokic, 1 and 2.
I'm putting Ant over Jokic, just personally.
Why would you put Ant over Jokic, Lacey?
I just like his personality more as far as like building a team. So, like you're gonna have a little bit more excitement, more fun, more fast paced. But obviously, that doesn't take away what Jokic does. But if I'm building a team right now, I'm picking Ant over Jokic.
See, like even Embiid, right? I'm surprised Embiid's that low, but they're thinking injury.
Injuries, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I said it's real. They're thinking injuries, not the healthy version of it.
There's some recency bias, definitely.
But I'm just saying, but that's what I'm saying. We're going.
Why are they thinking injury when he only been injured once?
No, his career.
he's
no,
injured
but
all
he's
the
injured
time.
now.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
they're like, oh, he's injured.
Giannis been injured a couple different times.
That's why he low too.
That's why he's low. But they're thinking. That's what I said. It's in real time.
Don't know why
tell you
Jason
how
Tatum.
I think
Don't
Giannis.
know why
how
Jason
dumb they
Tatum
are.
is so low though.
Hey, Giannis,
But like with
Tatum being so low is a little
with
concerning.
players, you have to do exactly this. All right, look, we're gonna do an all-time. Who would you start your draft with?
From scratch.
Everybody's healthy in their prime. You're gonna have to do shit like that.
That's a good idea.
Because if you say,
You say it today, like
Yeah.
no one's picking Giannis or Embiid.
yeah, because of
Because they're hurt.
That's why the list don't even make like.
Like think about it. KD's averaging 29.
He's not even up there.
He ain't even up
He's
there.
at the bottom,
Or he's at the.
They got him at.
0.7%.
Squint your eyes,
They
Gil.
got-
Squint your eyes.
They got
him at.
Jared Allen.
Jimmy
that's
Butler.
alphabetical.
Yes, I was wondering the same thing. Like, come on now,
Alphabetical.
dog. Come on now.
Somebody got Scoot Henderson. I mean, come on.
Henderson.
You definitely voted for him.
We think Scoot
Who
voted.
voted for Scoot?
He just went Scoot all the way down. So, Sha, who would you?
Victor for sure. I'm starting with Victor.
I mean, Wemby makes youngest. I think most upside.
But that's what I say. Even just right now, how the game is being played and moving forward. Yeah, Wemby. Like the first two arguably are right there, and then from there,
But see, for me,
it all depends on what you
Based on-
like.
It don't
you
got
like,
nothing to do with
exactly.
age for me. It don't got nothing to do. It's playing both sides of the ball, and
I mean, they all play like, when you look at that list, they all play so differently.
yeah.
So I feel like this, out of all the questions, this was probably the one that was like most thought-provoking for anybody that answered. Like, or it can really show how these guys like to play basketball.
Or it's immediately biased on what I like. I like this person. I like that person. I ain't
someone's
gonna
like,
pick
Wemby
him
is,
because he bust my ass.
Wemby's Wemby.
You been saying that all the time. Oh, you ain't gonna pick this. I ain't gonna pick him
But-
because
but-
he used to bust my ass. Nah, fuck that nigga. Gonna pick him.
But drafting, they should have did this with general managers, so you can see how they think.
Yeah,
They gotta put
I would
their
love to
name on
see
it.
how they
Because you got to remember,
think.
Jokic went 46 in the draft, right? So what he's showing now, they couldn't see it when he was going through,
Yep.
individual workouts. But when you're talking about just overall building your team, yeah, you're gonna build it like the first two. At least the first two, you're gonna build it like that. Now, Ant-Man, Luka, it all depends on what you want. Luka, I mean KD, LeBron, like it's. But you got to put everybody in their prime.
To me, I seen it in Anthony Edwards in Georgia, bro. Like he had the potential. He had it from the start.
Yes,
Like
star.
Jokic, if we was to go back and watch Jokic, we probably even say he had the potential too. Just the fact that they wasn't gonna give him opportunity because he was a Euro.
Who?
Jokic. Jokic probably had the potential. Just like Mark Gasol, Paul Gasol, that just had the bad bodies, move slow. It just looks nasty.
It looks, and
know what
then
I'm
he's
saying?
by himself.
By
One-on-one.
himself. They ain't doing shit. You know what I'm
Even if it's
saying?
one-on-one, you see. That's what I said. Like, I can see you score, right? I can see you score. I can't see in a workout one-on-one or by yourself. I can't see Magic Johnson.
Well, that's why
Right?
in that list, that's why I wouldn't personally pick Jokic, because we're seeing what he's doing right now with this amazing team that they've built around him now. He doesn't have this amazing team with all these pieces. Is he still going to do
Right.
Jokic
You don't
things?
know what-
Maybe.
They're still 26 and 12.
Yeah, but
That's what-
still, but that team is just like one of the most amazingly constructed teams I've ever
It's
seen.
the same as Tim Duncan.
Yeah, but no All-Stars, no additional NBA
that's,
players.
hey, that's my guy,
but I'm
Calvin
like-
Booth.
Yeah.
But it's like
yeah,
you
and I
have
think
those
That's my
guys.
Calvin Booth.
The egos aren't there. Like, it's like kind of like the perfect storm for
That's
Jokic.
the most important thing.
But you think about like Tim Duncan, when Tim Duncan was on that team and they constructed that team around him,
Yeah.
if you take him off that team,
It wasn't functionable.
it's not function. And then you put him on any other team, he's gonna keep doing what he does.
he does.
Nothing changes with him. You have to adapt to him because he's
Right.
the piece.
Yeah.
So I think Jokic is one of those guys.
Yeah.
That you just gotta
Embiid, like, for the most part, all those guys are. It's like Steph at the bottom makes sense, right? Because he's a 6'4" small guard, right? That offense has to be designed exactly for his style, for him to be his
best self.
his best self,
Yeah.
right? So, I don't think a lot of general managers themselves know what they're looking for or know what they're looking at, right? To be a great general manager or a great, leader, once you identify your two stars and say, this is who we're going to build our team, these are our stars, from that point, names are meaningless. It's surrounding these two with the people that complete their style of play.
Right.
And that's how you're supposed to be. And a lot of teams don't understand that. They think grabbing a whole bunch of names is what's gonna do it. No, you have to build around your two best players. Once you get them, like, that's what I said, this is funny with Denver. Me and Calvin Booth used to sit and talk about this all fucking day. If we were general managers, who would be the first type? Like, we both said we wouldn't pick no point guard under 6'3", because our studies says a pure point guard doesn't win championships like that. If he's doing what he does best, right? If he's out there making everybody look great, that means they're not that good, right? So we identified, okay, take away Magic because he's the unicorn, right? What is the starting point guard on the championship team averaging? And back then, it came to like 3.7 assists that season, right? 3.7, because you remember, you got Derek Fisher, you got Brian Shaw, you got, even when Rondo won, he had 4 assists. You're talking about Tony Parker's as 5 assists, right? You talk about Mario Chalmers, you got to think about his assists, right? So it was low as shit. So we're like, well, we might as well get either a defensive guard or scoring guard. But back then, the data behind scoring guards didn't even exist either. So there was the Curry effect didn't happen yet. So from there, it was like, all right, we can just get a point guard that actually just spots up, shoot, and play defense.
Yep.
That was what our data did.
Well, let's keep this thing moving. So while many think Rudy Gobert is the front runner to win his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award, the players poll disagree. They picked Wemby as the league's best defender with more than 15% of the vote. Gobert finished 6th in voting behind Drew Holiday, Lou Dort, Herb Jones, and his teammate Jaden McDaniels. Gobert did take the top spot in another poll, though, getting voted as the most overrated player in the league.
Dylan Brooks. Like, that's hate. Why don't we talk about Dylan Brooks?
But that makes sense because his mouth versus his game.
I'm like, nobody.
But you see, Trey Burke is up there again.
What you got? So Jordan Poole, Trey, Dylan Brooks,
Trey Young.
Trey Young. You said, I was like, damn, Trey Burke made the list.
Who said Trey Burke?
You did.
I don't even know who fucking Burke is. Who the fuck is Trey Burke?
Guard from Michigan.
Oh, that is a person.
Yeah, you just got Hooper's name in
said
your
Burke.
mind. You did. The Chad heard it. Gives come for We Are Live.
Is there a Burke on there?
I think you said Brooks.
I said Brooks.
You were trying to
About
say
Dylan
Brooks.
You were trying to say Brooks.
Young.
Oh, okay.
You
I got
could, you
you.
could
My bad.
combine
I got
Trey
you.
Young and
I know
Dylan
how
Brooks
I
and
know
Trey
how your
Burke.
mind works.
You get straight.
You rounded long enough.
I done mixed two.
It ain't even Dylan. It's Dylan Brooks, not Trey. Like Dylan
I'm
Dylan
thinking-
Burke.
The thing
Dylan
was
Burke.
like
Dylan Burke.
Gabe Vincent will turn into Sam saying Vincent, but you hear him say, you know, okay, he's talking about your
Like, we
mind,
know
or he's
we
talking
talking
about
about
game.
But Trey Burke is actually a good guard. Trey Burke is actually a good player.
Trey Burke is
Hold
a
on.
very solid basketball player.
Definitely.
Hold on, a busy sheep. Rondo averaged 7.9 assists for his career. I get it.
For that season.
We're talking about for that season when they won the championship.
Yeah, the championship season.
Gil's very, very involved with the chat. We'll take any
so
time
go.
we need to correct you. Thank you for allowing me to reassume my
So this
hosting
list,
duty.
it's like half of you get more accolades than your game, and then the other half looks like they talk more than.
Yeah. So okay. So most
Look at all the
overrated.
names at the bottom.
Most overrated. I can see. Okay,
Damn.
Jordan Poole. After what he did this year, okay, if he's number one, makes sense.
Pat Bev.
Right? Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert.
That's straight from people just not
Sean
thinking he
Pep-
deserves all those defensive player of the years.
Higher or
That's where
lower on the
that
list, you
stems
feel like?
Top.
Who?
Pat Bev?
Top.
How? He hasn't won any awards. He don't get paid.
I don't know what. I'm just saying he at the top. Like,
For most-
SAG, rebound, he with us.
For most
So you mean
overrated.
he's when Rashad
Sag.
thinks about overrated, he's thinking about you talk more than
Bro, get your ass up out of
When
here.
I think of overrated, I'm like
So-
you get more attention and accolades than you should deserve.
Like that's what I'm saying. Rudy Gobert, you're getting awards that players don't think you should be getting.
But he definitely
Right.
deserves all of the things that he's got. And
No,
I
he
watched him
does
play
not.
last night. That nigga be all over the place. He do exactly what he's out there to do. Be a center, block shit, rebound shit, and disturb shit. He do exactly what he supposed
The
to do.
one thing he can't do is guard his own man.
Yes, he can.
He cannot
He was
play-
blocking shit. The nigga
Weak
threw,
side.
threw that mother. No, in the post, threw it up. Get that shit out of here.
One block, okay.
He do it all the time. He do it all the time.
It was so funny before he even
Rashad,
got
he had
traded.
one block last night.
That was the block
One
I'm
block.
talking about.
No, one
Get
block.
that
Did
shit
I just
out
say
of
that?
here.
I said one block.
Get that shit
But
out of
people
here.
are like,
And it was a
even
powerful
when
block.
I
It was a
was-
big
even
time
when I
block
was
too.
listening to the commentary, they're like, oh, he just adjusts, but he doesn't actually block
So
anything.
altering
But that's
shots.
what
being-
you-
Altering shots, but they're like his presence, but like no, sometimes guys are just missing. It doesn't have anything to do with him all the time.
Vex. No,
Not
Vex.
all the time.
Anthony
No,
Edwards, before he came to the Anthony Edwards said, when they're talking about, you going in, Rudy Gobert, he said, no one's scared of Rudy Gobert.
Listen.
Man, what the fuck is he doing? He doesn't, so
But now you have someone like Wemby who is actually
you see the
doing all
difference.
that, and Chet, and it's making
When
Rudy
you
look
have a
not like
7-footer
he's...
down there, period, and you're a guard, you go into the hoop. I'm going to challenge. There are different types of motherfuckers that go to the hoop. I'm looking for contact. I'm looking for a big. Come on in here. If you can block it, block it. DeAndre Jordan, Kenyon Martin, Dollenberg, all these big-time shot blockers adjusted your shot. You get down there, man, you better
Which I
dunk it.
understand, but now there's guys down there who are actually blocking the shit out of people constantly, and that's why I don't think you can win
You're
it
talking about
anymore.
defensive player of the year, and
when you go down there, you better finish it, or he's gonna block that shit.
One block,
That's why they
dog.
don't.
It's not
That's why they don't go down there.
So
They do though.
They wasn't.
Yes, they do.
No, they wasn't last night.
But think about
They
it.
were shooting jump
They
shots.
were
Think about it.
missing
They were
layups. They missed a
shooting
lot of
jump
layups
shots.
last
But think about it. Players are saying, we're more, this you got to understand, and this is why I say, if you don't play basketball, it's hard for you to actually grasp the understanding. Players are saying, we're scared of this guy versus the guy you're giving all the trophies to. The guy you're giving all the trophies to, he doesn't fear us. We're afraid of this young dude coming in there. We're really second guessing everything we're doing out there. When we do pick and rolls, and like Ben Wallace and K Mark and Rashid, pick and rolls with them is like,
Okay, Mark.
you know what I mean? Like, and then there's some guys who's getting defense awards. I'm like, dog, this is fucking lunch meat down here. He's sorry.
But there's a difference, though, Gil. The assessment of being a good defensive player is not just being feared for shooting and blocking a shot. It's being in the right spots. It's being able to adjust shots. It's being able to rotate right. It's being able to get deflections. It's being able to do a lot of different things. Rudy covers the board. And you know what he does? He gets defensive boards.
Woo, he gets a rebound.
So
Yes.
So
a lot of these dudes don't fucking rebound.
Okay, so Westbrook is a great defensive player because he gets defensive rebound.
He's a good defensive rebounder.
So in regards to how him and his career are viewed, Gobert had this to say. In their eyes, I'm more like the other guy from
I was
France
like, what
that's winning a lot of awards it can be bother people. I impact the game in a very unique way. It's maybe not as cool or not as flashy as some of the other guys. So it's sometimes harder for them to respect that. I just think I'm just mostly misunderstood. I think I trigger a lot of these guys.
Oh, wait, that makes
I'm part
me sad.
French, so I had to really bring it in.
Even his
triggered people.
Even his boo
With
came
what?
out and said, "Leave my man alone."
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Trigger him with what?
Leave my French man alone, man.
If you play
He ain't been the
defense,
same since Draymond choked him.
if you play defense, right, offensive players is going to respect you, right? You don't see anyone saying, all right, Dylan Brooks is overrated on defense. No one says Drew Holiday is overrated on defense, right? No one says when White won it, oh, he's overrated on defense. Marcus Smart, no one's saying he's overrated on defense, right? These guys, he actually is playing defense.
Rashad, if he wins over Wemby, why? Why does Rudy win over Wemby?
All right, stat man. Let me get my stats right.
Because we were talking about how the Timberwolves have one of the top defenses in the league, correct?
Team, yes.
Team.
They're number one.
But when
Their team.
Wemby's on the floor versus off the floor is like night and day defensively. So how do you decide which one is more
What's the
important
funniest?
when you win an
Rudy's averaging 2 blocks a game, 12 rebounds a game, 14 points a game. Those 2 blocks testament to the number 2 team in the West.
I think top-ranked defense this season.
He's the anchor.
And finished third in the West.
He's an anchor. And when you're the anchor and you don't have to cover as much ground as Wemby has to, right? You have to do more because your team sucks.
Who?
Wemby. He has to do more. Rudy doesn't have to do as much because we have a total team that I'm anchoring. Just like KG, when he was playing for the Boston Celtics, the one thing they needed was a fucking anchor that could say, hey, Paul, you ain't got to play that much defense because me and TA got this. And me and Rondo and TA got this. Hey, Ray Allen, we know you don't like to play no defense like that. Send them to us. We got you. That's an anchor. That's what made KG the defensive player of the year because he knew the elements of how to rotate, how to be here, how to show, how to block shots, how to alter shots. I think Rudy does all of those things. Like he said, I affect the game in a unique way that may not be cool. It may not be blocking shots out of bounds every fucking 5 seconds. But I know these dudes don't want to fuck with me defensively. I know a lot of these guys know I'm out here and they got to pull me away from the basket in order for them to have some type of effect in the game. And that's where the game is going. You pull big, hey, Rudy, we got to pull him away from the basket.
Right, and he can't get no stops out there.
Exactly. So
why does that make him the defensive player of the year?
Because you have to do that in order for the game to work in your benefit.
So you're saying he doesn't have to do as much, right? So if it's baking a cake.
He averages less steals, less blocks. He only averages 2 more rebounds than Wemby. And he averages 9 less points than Wemby.
So if we're building a cake, you're basically saying he is the anchor of it. So
he's the icing.
So he's the icing on the cake, right? So his defense, so the cake is built and he's doing the
icing is extra.
Right? No.
You can still eat a cake without icing.
No.
Nasty,
So, no. So it's
a nasty ass
it's
cake.
A muffin.
Hey,
It's a muffin
you ain't
without
never
icing.
baked the cake.
So he's
It's a big-ass muffin without the icing.
So he's
Pound cake is delicious.
So
okay?
he's putting
Fair,
the icing on the cake, and then you're saying, Wemby, he has no cake builder, so he has to build the cake and the icing.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't he a better cook then?
Because
he has to do everything. He has to crack the eggs, do this and do that to compete with the same guy who just has to put icing on it. See,
the only thing is that's a cheap cake.
Says who?
It says the price of the cake because of the wins and the losses. Your cake is cheap because you're putting it together with all the low budget ingredients to make this fucking cake. Me, I got number 1 ingredients. Our ingredients to make this cake is red velvet. This is red velvet.
He said our cake. Yeah, because you just have to put this. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
So if you have an Ant-Man and this on your team to help take away your responsibility, then your responsibility ain't a trophy worth.
No, it's just the
because
icing on the cake.
You're going 50% because someone is doing the job.
No,
for you.
we're never
The
going
kid-
50%. Don't say he's not playing as well. I say he doesn't have to do as much.
Here's a stat that they don't tell you. The number 1 defense in the team, the number 1 team defense is Minnesota Timberwolves. The number one team defense when Wemby is playing is Wemby. The Spurs. So you got to remember, he only plays 20-something minutes. So once he leaves the floor, that's when they drop. So when he leaves the floor, they drop.
When Rudy
but when
leaves
he's
the floor,
playing
they
in the
don't drop.
game, so when they do tip ball, the number one defense in the NBA is the Spurs.
That has nothing.
Not Wemby and his cake crew. I mean, not Rudy and his cake crew. The Spurs is the number one defense in the NBA. When Wemby's off the floor, they go to last.
Let's just go back to what you just said. He's baking this cake by himself. He has the cheap ingredients. It's still a cake.
But it's an
Then why-
individual
why-
award.
finish?
Why is his cake better than?
Can I finish?
But why is his cake better?
Can I finish? You got this red velvet cake, right? With premium icing. It's premium.
Okay.
Like a wedding cake.
Okay.
I'm not giving this Wemby cake to the wedding yet.
It's more like a smash cake for the first birthday.
It's the grandma cake that's with the kid helping the grandma with the cake, and we gonna test this out, this experimenting, and we gonna put it in the refrigerator and we eat it, 2 days out of the week. This is a wedding cake we talking about with the red velvet inside. This is a special occasion cake that this nigga bakes up. This is what I'm saying with Rudy. Wemby ain't got there yet.
But you're saying he ain't got there, but when he's on the floor, they're ranked 1.
I understand that.
Which means when the game starts, when both teams starts the game, Spurs is number 1 in defense because he's on the floor.
I get it.
So that means all the cake bakers you have, they're still under this cheap cake you're calling.
I get it.
See, he only becomes a cheap cake because he has to get off the floor. So that means half of the game he's sitting on the bench, which makes the workers trip. He don't have a work squad. So you're saying as an individual award, who's a better defender? Him by himself is ranking 1.
Rudy's already proven on teams prior to this team where he didn't have the number 1 defense that he was the defensive player of the year multiple years in a row. He's already proven that. So we're using this metric against Rudy now because there's a guy who's doing what Rudy used to do. It's just so happened that they're both French. Oui. So that's what I'm saying with Rudy. He's saying, I still do what I do best. I'm just on a better team where y'all don't want to give me as much credit. That's
Exactly.
the difference.
He's on but that's what I'm saying. But
He's still a good defensive player
Okay.
that's doing what he
Then
do.
put him on one of the defensive teams.
he used
Give
to-
Wemby the award that he deserves.
But he used to be baking the same cake Wemby been baking right now. The only difference is now we've moved up.
It's a premium.
But that's the problem. If they're playing the same amount of minutes, there's no Rudy talk. There's no Rudy talk because Wemby is the number 1 player in defense. His team is number 1.
What you mean?
If he
they're playing
played
the
the
same
38 minutes a game, Spurs is number 1 in defense, but he only
Rudy's
plays
playing
20
38
something.
minutes a game?
He's only playing 20-something minutes.
Rudy not playing
That's what
38
I don't think you're grasping the understanding of what's going on.
I do.
When he's playing, Spurs is number 1. When he's off the floor, they drop to last. So when you calculate all that up, they're at the bottom because he doesn't play as much.
Bro, trust me.
So
I
that
get
means
what you're saying.
that means if it's even field and both play the same amount of minutes, there's no even Rudy.
Rudy playing about 34 minutes.
34 minutes, I see it.
Then this is-
And Wemby plays 31.
Like 29-ish, close to
30.
So that means that 5 minutes extra, his team goes last.
No, I get it, bro. Trust me, I get it. I'm just saying it's premium versus generic.
So,
But we would say, then you would have to say Rudy is generic because all he has to do is put icing on the cake.
Do you think Ant and McDaniels will make defensive teams? I feel like if both of them make a defensive team,
it doesn't.
it's hard to give
that's
Rudy
what-
a
but that's
defensive
the-
player of the year when you have.
Well, that's like saying
That-
Drew Holiday never deserved defensive player, first team, or any defensive team because Giannis was out there. Or Giannis shouldn't have been defensive player of the year 2 years in a row because he was on a good defensive team.
That was my argument.
So,
But he's a good defensive player in those years that he won it. Giannis, he was beating shit up. He was defensive rebounding. He was stealing shit. He was doing a bunch of shit. A lot of things in the defensive aspect, those categories are not filled.
Shit, I
because we don't
think
look at
Wemby
them.
is more. You can compare Wemby more to Giannis than Rudy to Giannis as
Well,
far
it's
as
not
their
a. I'm
impact
not.
defensively.
That's the difference. Everyone's trying to compare rather than just appreciate what each one brings to the table defensively.
So what does Wemby have to do to beat Rudy in Defensive Player of the Year?
This year?
He has to be better?
This year?
No, just in general, because it seems like Rudy got that shit on lock.
No, he might have it on lock for this year. I think moving forward, there's not going to be a doubt about it for Wemby.
So you know what helps? You know where Wemby gets where he has an advantage of what he's talking about? Because one of the categories they do steals, blocks, defensive rebounds, right? And then they do team defense efficiency, right? Now, if you got 2 other players or 3 other players that actually play defense, that helps Rudy's case, right? Then when you say, then again, opponents' field goals with player as the closest defender. Well, Rudy ain't trying to block 3-point shots, right? So, if some people miss, shit around the basket, he gets that award too. So there's things in here that has nothing to do with actual defense. I don't like the award because it doesn't say who the best individual. You are a lockdown defender. Like when people used to say, who's the best lockdown defender? And I used to say, all right, I used to say Tony Allen, right? The team, they wasn't really that good at defense. Him by himself was a great defensive player. Marcus Banks, by himself, great defensive player. Picking up full court, keeping you from those. That's how I, evaluate defense, right?
But you're evaluating those by your personal assessment of how they guard you. Me, I say, listen, put Marcus Banks in the motherfucking gas chamber. He ain't a good defender at all. You got to sub his ass out. You can't guard me down here. You can only guard me when you pick me up 94 feet when I'm dribbling the ball and you put pressure on me.
That's everybody.
Tony Allen. Put him in motherfucking pick and roll and pick and rolls and then pin downs.
Yep.
He ain't a fucking factor at that point. He's only a factor when you're on the ball and you gotta get him on.
But that's everybody.
It's all contending on certain aspects of the game. Rudy Gobert,
not great.
He may not get
not great in pick and roll. He's bad at switching.
He's great at contesting.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I've always had a problem with the Defensive Player of the Year award because it's like you could have a player that great on ball, gets through ball screens, but you're not going to be considered for Defensive Player of the Year award because maybe you don't get enough rebounds, you don't get any blocks.
Got to cover all of the aspects.
But he doesn't. You saying wasn't it? He can't guard
for his position. He does.
He can't hard
for his position. He does.
He can't hard show. He's horrible at sagging. He's horrible at switching.
But they don't. That's
he's
not
horrible at.
That's not their team concept.
He's horrible at individual posting up when they post him up.
He contests shots.
That's it. So you're giving.
He gets deflections.
So you just named an award because he's bigger than.
But that's what
no. He blocks shots. He contests shots. He alters shots. He gets deflections. He does a lot of the things within the team concept, which helps the team win. That makes you a defensive player of the year. When Draymond Green won it, why did he win it?
Still,
he wasn't blocking shit. He wasn't blocking it. He wasn't leading the league in blocks. He wasn't leading the league in blocks.
But what
he was doing all the small things.
What does blocks have to do with he's stopping the guy from actually getting to the basket.
Bro, Draymond Green was the defensive player of the year because he had the energy on a winning team to look like he was making stops by himself. All he was doing was playing into the team concept, and that made him look a lot better than he would if he was on a losing team and he was by himself on the island.
But you can't,
he wouldn't win it.
But you can't, that's make-believe.
What do you mean it's make-believe?
If he was on a losing team, that's fantasy basketball.
So why is Rudy?
Know that.
Oh, so Rudy's on a winning team and he's gonna win it because he's on a winning team. That ain't fantasy. That's reality.
Talking about
reality is defense. Rudy's doing what fucking Draymond is doing.
Okay, I give you that.
That's why he's gonna win it.
But you just penalized everybody else for not doing something. Oh, he can't come down to pin down. He can't do this. So they can't.
No, I'm saying you was giving them credit for that because they were doing something.
Picking up full court
specifically for you against you.
And I'm saying, okay, Rudy's flaws is he can't go and pick and roll. He can't hard show. He's horrible at sag. He's horrible playing his man by himself. He can't do that.
Wemby's the same.
That is individual.
Wemby's the same.
That is individual basketball.
But Wemby's the same.
What I'm saying is that's individual. To start to be a defensive player, shouldn't the number one rule be you stop your own man?
But Rudy's.
But think about what I'm saying, right? If I'm defensive player of the year, the one thing I'm supposed to do is stop my man first.
Right.
Fuck team shit. I'm supposed to be able to lock my man
It's
up.
not fuck team shit when our team scheme is don't worry about your guy.
Again.
You're supposed to do this.
Again, but what I'm saying.
But you want it to fit what you like, though. You like a certain aspect of, man, I wanted to be stop your guy, fuck the team shit. That ain't how basketball works.
I'm glad you said that, because then you can't penalize no player for not playing defense, because it's a team defensive game.
Absolutely.
So let's get this moving because we had 3 playoff games last night.
It's secondary, though.
I just say I don't like defensive players.
Is it secondary or is it primary? Is it secondary or primary? There's the primary aspect, which what I'm talking about.
Don't worry about Luka.
You're talking about the secondary.
Do not worry about Luka and all of their playing defense, because this is a team defensive game.
Absolutely. That's Jason Kidd problem.
So speaking of Gobert, his Wolves squad was back in action Tuesday night for Game 2 against the Suns. Before we get into the game, we got to give Ant some love for seeing the future.
So, they got KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels.
So when this clip dropped last year, people were clowning Ant, but now they're calling him Negro Damas. It's an old clip, but everybody was running it after the game. In the full clip.
Yeah, because he played great last night.
Yeah, in the full clip, Ant was talking about Jaden McDaniels' defense, but McDaniels got it done on both sides of the floor in Game 2. So he got it going in the second quarter, dropped a playoff career high, 25 points along with 8 rebounds and 3 assists, going 10 for 17 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. Him and D Book got into it too.
Yeah,
little pushing match. He gave him that little extra shove and got teed up for it. The Suns looked solid in the first half, taking a 1-point lead into the break, but the Wolves put together a team effort in the second half to take the win. So Ant-Man followed up his Game 1 dominance by going 3 for 12 from the field and finishing with 15 points, but he did hit 2 big buckets in the second half. Gobert dropped 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 steals, and Mike Conley added 18, going 7 for 13 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. Cat picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter, but did have 12 and 8 in the game. Devin Booker led the Suns with 20 points. KD was held to 18 points, and Bradley Beal finished with 14 points, going 6 for 17 from the field, took the most shots on the Suns squad in that game. The Suns' big 3 went a combined 18 for 45 from the field, 3 for 12 from 3. They were also a combined minus 59 in the loss. Also need to note that Grayson Allen once again left the game after re-aggravating his ankle injury.
He might be done.
Yeah, he might be on Chilligan's Island. But Eric Gordon filled in, dropped 15 points, going 3 for 5 from 3. The Wolves' top-ranked defense forced 19 turnovers in the game and had a 31-2 advantage in points off turnovers. So got to ask the couch. Yeah, they were. Mr. Arenas, yeah.
Because you said this was last year, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't this year, right?
What he said?
And you said he's looking like Nostradamus?
Negro Damas.
Negro Damas. How, when McDaniels got his ass busted last year and they lost after that statement?
So he's looking like it now because
that's how Twitter works,
No, we're not doing that. When he said it, we have this guy.
Okay.
That game, he got his ass mocked.
Oh my God.
Let Twitter be Twitter.
No, we're not gonna push those narratives like that. I'm thinking he said this in this, like the playoff matchup, this is who you're about to face. Then he looks like a genius. But the fact that you said it last year before a game and you lost that game 100 to 107 and your man had 6 motherfucking points.
Okay.
You don't look like a genius.
That was last year.
That was last year when he said it. Did he re-say it?
This was this year.
Did he re-say it?
Right, they had a game. If they didn't have a game in between, then okay.
Hey, look.
See, he had a game, right?
Some things don't need to be said, right? Sometimes you don't really need to say
people
shit.
Be on Twitter, man.
What did McDaniels go out there and do?
Lighthearted moment.
He had 6. He had 6 minus 10. Is what he did
After he said that.
We're not talking about now.
Why are we not talking about now?
Because he said it then.
So what?
If I say some shit in 2005, motherfucker, it takes 10 years to get true.
Like
it doesn't make it true.
Yes, it does.
I said it last year thinking that we was about to be popping, and it didn't work.
Listen, man. If I say I'm going to whoop your ass 10-1.
And then you lose.
And he goes up 1-0.
And then I lose.
If he says he's going to beat me in a shooting contest, and I got it on film that months ago you said you was going to beat me in a shooting contest. Then we go shoot, then you lose. I can bring up that 3 months ago you said...
If he beat you in between that.
He doesn't beat me in between anything.
But then you can't use that as an example.
But I'm using it as an example. Well, let me finish. So now, fast forward to right now. I've already beat you.
Right?
That's
Right?
not an
Now,
example.
what I'm saying is, Jaden McDaniels can come out and they don't have to say nothing. The whole reference of Ant-Man saying it is, I have faith in my guy. My guy is good enough.
No, yeah, no, I
Not
get
just
that.
for the
My
one
guy
game.
is good
I
enough.
get it. No, I understand.
Not
My
just for
guy
the
is
one
good.
game.
I got faith
But
in my
you
guy.
know how Twitter's.
But
you know how Twitter be Twittering.
Twitter joke.
You're saying it wrong.
Twitter by Gilbert Arenas.
You're saying you will beat me. I beat you.
No, you said you were going to beat me.
Okay, but we have to go with the example that's here.
Okay.
The example was they asked about KD.
We have a Jaden McDaniels.
We asked about KD. We have a Jaden McDaniels.
That's
right?
all he said.
That's all he said.
There was a longer clip. It was-
Because
it was
of the
ahead.
game that's coming up.
No, I think Ant later said in that clip for future games as well down the road.
Wait. He said it.
See how
That's a lie.
he need to use it.
That's a lie.
He tried to use it for.
That's what I'm saying.
He
I don't
want to be
like
right
fantasy.
so
we
bad.
we just
man.
want to deal with facts. The facts was we're getting ready to play them last year, and this is what I said. It didn't turn out that way.
It did.
It didn't.
'Cause now-
your man had 6 points. He lost. This is a whole nother year later. So don't try to pretend that this is today.
It's all he's saying is I got confidence in my guy.
And you didn't. He got beat down.
That's good.
Your man got beat.
But he didn't get beat down now.
Okay, then re-say it. Then you should have
why
said it before.
No, that's why they brought the clip back up. Gilbert, you bring the clip back
You're
up
bringing the
because full surface, it says, look, we still got faith in Jaden McDaniels. He just got, the best of KD.
Then I'm sorry, then re-say it for me.
Anthony,
Re-say it. Say it before the playoffs that I have confidence that we have this man.
Anthony
Don't try to
Edwards.
make it seem like.
But why
'cause when
does he have to re-say it just for your happiness?
If you're watching,
Why do we
Gilbert
gotta
Arenas-
say it just for Gil's happiness?
Because I don't like tricky shit.
Come on, man.
Right? That's
you
that
don't
goofy
like when
shit.
niggas get their ass bust.
That's that goofy shit.
You don't like when niggas their ass
How many
bust.
games was played before this happened? Like there's too many games.
It's 2-0.
Not when he said it. He didn't say this.
But it's 2-0 right now.
Like,
Anthony,
that's
Anthony
you're talking
Edwards.
about how many
Anthony
matchups that
Edwards
they had.
dropped
Don't
it,
matter.
so
Don't
he said
fucking
it.
matter.
But this is the
It
type
don't
of
fucking matter.
But this is
It's
the type
2-0.
But this is the type of dude that we deal with on the internet.
It's 2-0.
I beat you 10 games straight. You win one. Now you want to brag your
The last game.
That's what happened.
The only
Gil,
thing
do
that
you know how
counts
the
is the
internet
last
works?
game. The last game is the only one that
I
counts.
mean-
If I just beat you, I don't give a fuck about the prior games.
Of course.
I just
when
whooped
you
your
said it.
fucking ass.
Of course, when you say it, don't matter
What
when
you
you say
mean?
it. That's
You
what I'm
need to
saying.
bring up the prior games to feel good about yourself.
That's when he
Not
said it.
me. I don't have to. I beat your ass.
Gil,
Come
that's-
back.
That's why I prefaced it before playing the soundbite. Now, if I were doing tricky shit, I would have just played
That's
it
what
there
he
and had
said.
you thinking it was recent.
Said this yesterday.
If I was doing
Said it a
trickiness
year ago.
by merely hosting,
He know what it means. He knows
I know.
what's
No.
going on.
I know what it
He
means.
just
last
don't
year.
like it. You just don't like it. That's all.
I don't like you making this it because the next game after that, KD had 31. The next game after that,
In game one, KD went off.
the third game after that,
Even though they lost. But they didn't put that clip of when they still
gotta-
beat them
KD won.
yesterday.
KD plus 22. So the 3 games before the playoffs, Mr. Daniels is 0-3. Then you can't brag now. That's what I'm saying. Re-say it.
Did McDaniels post it?
No.
Who posted it?
Probably some random
the
page.
internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this ain't got nothing to do with McDaniels.
It has nothing to do with none of that.
Right? So,
But this is what people
but
do on
he's
the
upset.
internet.
He's upset.
Because the internet is dumb.
Merely, merely a lighthearted moment to intro into the highlight. Let's get back
They're
to the
just trying
importance of this
to
segment.
motivate the Suns, okay?
What did the Wolves show you in their Game 2 win over the Suns this current game to take a 2-0 lead
This current game,
against the Suns?
Amen.
In this current
They are a
game,
good. They are a good little.
They're
team.
very good.
Yes, a
They're a
good
very
little
good
team. Even with their star players struggling a little bit, but I thought the Suns came out with a pretty solid game plan for Edwards.
Edwards.
I mean, send 2. I feel like that's the obvious thing, but his teammates stepped up. I was impressed by them for sure.
and big Game 1, obviously didn't perform to the standards that we expect him to perform in Game 2, but how impressive has the Wolves' depth been?
But that's what's
so far in the
but that's what's great about the playoffs, right? When you're talking about the playoffs, everyone adjusts, right? They adjusted to Ant-Man because what Ant-Man did last game, and the bench adjusted to that adjustment, right? So you have McDaniels, you have these guys that's coming in that's saying, all right, you want to shut him down? I'll take over his points, right? And I don't think people paid attention to what Denver said and what Jokic said last year when they won the championship, that the hardest team that they faced was Minnesota in that first round, right? I think that just went over everyone's head because obviously They beat them comfortably, but no one paid attention and say, yeah, we played the Suns, we played the Lakers, and we played Miami, but our hardest matchup was Minnesota. Yeah. So, you know, and it's showing right now that, you know, they have players that if you take away our stars, we can get the fucking job done. And that's what playoff basketball is about.
On both sides of the ball.
I think it's a coaching matchup. I think Finch is out coaching Dirty Frank Vogel. Dirty Frank don't know what the fuck he be out there doing sometimes. See, I seen some things that Finch did that makes him such a good coach, where when the Phoenix Suns start to make a run, maybe even a shot from a 12-point deficit to cut it to 10, timeout. Timeout, right away. No hesitation. They might even come out of that timeout. They miss a shot, Phoenix come down, score again, timeout again. Stop that shit. We need that didn't work. And I think the adjustments that he makes on the floor when you see the Ant-Man's being doubled, and we need Conley to be more involved, we need Monte Morris to be more involved, Alexander to be more involved, even Nas Reed. They got a slew of players that understand from the concepts that he's put in. This is our adjustment. Cat, this is our adjustment. Cat didn't play well at all, got in foul trouble. But even that distraction gave Phoenix some hope that they were one man down until another man stepped up. And it's like, damn, well, what we got, right? And then you look at Phoenix's bench, their lack of depth pushes them in the hole further, because what do you do when they got the next man up over here and you don't? Like, your next man up is Eric Gordon filling for Grayson Allen, but you're not putting Bobo in to change the pace of the game.
Bobo only played 2 minutes in the game.
And you're not putting IT in the game.
That's what I'm saying.
At all to change the pace of the game.
They might as well throw him out there.
You know, this is when you have to really evaluate. And this is what coaching comes in. It's not necessarily who is your most valuable all season. It's who is the most valuable today in this series. This is where coaching really stands on your shoulders, right? When you can put somebody in that no one expects to change the series to change it for them, right? Right now, with the talent that's on the floor, and you look at this bench, there's only one guy who can actually change the outcome of this series, and that is Bobo. Because his skill level is unmatched. He might not be reliable, but you don't know what happens when the fire is on when you need him. You know, 3 blocks here, 2 threes, makes like, oh shit, we didn't expect this. Sub. And they might pull in some guys to try to match him that benefits you.
Momentum.
Right? That's where coaching comes in now. Where Dwight Howard against Denver.
The Lakers.
Dwight, go get Jokic. And like, oh shit, Dwight is stopping this motherfucker. Next series, we don't need you. That's what coaching is. I don't need you this series because we don't need this we need more mobile because of who we're playing. You have to adjust your lineup to who you're playing in real time, because there are teams out here that has just more than you. You got 6 dependable players, Phoenix, right? But there's one guy that you might need him for this series. Shit, you might need him for next series. You don't know. You might not need him all season. But now that's where playoffs are about. Some guy you didn't need all season, you might need him for this series. Because what? They don't have a scouting report for him.
Facts. That's playoff basketball.
They don't have, like, shit, everything's fucking locked down. We can't move. Everybody's on KD, this and this. Hey, they don't have no scouting report. Go out there.
Isaiah Thomas.
Go out there.
Isaiah Thomas.
Mix the shit up.
Go out there, do what you do.
Do what you do.
Fucking fuck it up. You and Bobo, go fuck it up.
Just to see, even give him a couple minutes, see if they can do something.
Put IT out there with Bill Book and KD.
Fuck it up. And Bobo. Fuck it up.
Let's go.
You put that.
That's a great lineup.
What?
That's
Bobo at the 5, then you got IT at the 1, Bill, Booker, and KD
at the 4,
for 5 minutes.
Just see what it's doing.
This is what made Steve Kerr great. When he understood, okay, let me put Let me put Barnes in. Let me take Iguodala, put him on the bench because Iguodala works better with the second unit because of a practice.
Yep.
It was because of a practice, not something that happened in the game. In a practice, this looked better. Let's try it. Oh shit, this is the the death squad?
Yep.
Oh, they call
Our
it
small
the death
ball is the
squad.
death squad. That wasn't something they played. It happened and they went with it. When Ty Lue won that championship, when Richard Jefferson got put in the starting lineup or got bit, one of the two, I think he got put in the starting lineup, right? He got put in the starting line, wasn't playing, got put in the starting lineup, and that just opened up everything. This is when you have to test out shit in the play. You have possible 7 games to figure out a lineup.
Shit.
Maybe
got?
You have a
4.
possible 7.
You got 5 now.
And if you really look at it, there's the elephant in the room, though, for me. Elephant in the room is Brad, Book, and KD are on the court at the same time, all deferring to each other, trying to figure out who the fuck. And this go back to our argument about Book.
around.
You can give me,
Yeah.
if you can give me this, and KD, you can give me this. Y'all don't have to be looking for this nigga who think that he's sacrificing shots based on status. When we just need you to move the fuck around. And move around to me is go do all the other shit other than try to expect to get your shot off.
Well, what else does he do?
He handles the ball, pick and roll.
Bill. Other than
he can
score the ball.
facilitate, drive the ball, get fouled.
So Bill led the Suns in shot attempts in the game 2 with 17. KD had 15.
You think
Devin
it would
Booker
be
took
the end of the
13.
world if they brought Bill off the bench?
That's what we was just discussing. Me and Trev Trout. Shout out to Trev Trout.
You know the problem is this is what the real problem is. It's Booker is at the point playing like a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bill is the shooting guard playing like a point.
Yes.
That is the problem,
Yeah.
right? If Booker's going to be your point and he's aggressive, Bill, when you get the ball, be your shooting guard.
Yes.
Right? You're both mixed match. If I'm gonna have Beal acting like a point, you handle the ball. Right? Booker, you're the 2. Let him come down, do the first pick and roll. They do whatever they do, give it to you, then you get the score. I can't have you guys in mismatch positions playing mismatch
But this the difference.
positions.
When Booker's playing point guard and he's in the pick and roll, that alleviates the shooting guard offense. There is no offense for Bill at the 2. He's just spaced out like Grayson Allen. That leaves him in a place where I just got to catch and go, rather than coming off a pick and roll, me coming off a flare screen, me doing 2-guard shit. I'm not doing no 2-guard shit when Booker has the ball at the point. When I got the ball at the point, Booker can now do 2-guard shit because I'm not looking to come off the pick and roll and do point guard shit.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the 2, in my opinion, is that if you take Bradley Beal, put him on the bench, bring IT in and let him play point guard, right? And you say, IT, we don't need you to be the traditional guy that you are, which is coming off like Booker is, point guard. We need you to set the team up so that Booker can really play 2. So KD can really play 3. But when you got Bradley coming off the bench, he can really play 2.
Then why don't you just put Bradley at the point?
Because Brad at this point, they're still deferring because he's on the floor. That's what I'm saying with the mentality between all 3 of them on the floor. They all relegate, all right, we got to get him involved. We got to do this. And that's how it looks out there, just like the Clippers. When Kawhi came back, all of a sudden, they start, we got to get Kawhi the ball.
Yeah.
Nah, man, y'all 2 niggas just went off for game 1. You got to keep doing that shit. You can't bring him in and then slow the game down. So the same thing with KD and them. They haven't figured out that there's a weak link on the floor that's stopping y'all from being who y'all are.
Them.
Booker and KD,
It's Booker and KD.
they just need to be them.
No, all of them need to be them. That's what I said. The problem is remember Bill played with John Wall, right?
John wasn't there.
No, when he played with John Wall, right? He's traditional too.
Yes.
He has to think the same way. I think the problem becomes, it's no different than what James Harden is doing now. But the thing with James Harden is, he has the ball to play point to make his sacrifices.
Right.
Now put it in Paul George's hand. Put it in Paul George's hand and let let Harden think he's still a point guard is going to look bad.
Yes.
Because now when he gets it, he thinks he needs to do a pick and roll to get everybody involved. That's how it's looking right now.
Yep.
When Bill gets the ball, instead of Bill just scoring,
Yes.
he's like, oh, I need to get,
I gotta
where's
facilitate,
KD at?
yeah.
No, if I want you to have this mindset, I need to get the ball in your hand first. Then you can facilitate, see if you can get in there, pass it, then they can do that. But the fact that we have you at the shooting guard position, and then
He's
you're
getting the
still thinking
ball late in the shot clock.
Yeah, he's getting the
He's
shot
still
clock.
doing point
that's
guard
what you
things.
were
You don't
saying.
have enough
Like,
time for that.
You were saying that off camera. You were saying about the 2 guard spot. Like,
Yeah, it's like obsolete.
yeah, Bill's not doing it.
Score it.
Just score.
Just
Don't
score.
worry about shit else.
But he did it last night. But it's one of those things where
Because they don't have a point guard.
together they're so unstoppable. Together. Play together.
They don't know how.
Be Denver.
They don't know how. Think
Right.
about Denver. Denver plays role. They have roles.
And that's the problem.
They can't fit into a role where they can say, I accept it. Let me be this, you be that, I be this. And we can interchange.
don't
That's
got
when we
another
talk about playing
facilitator. They
as
have no
hoopers. We
facilitator.
supposed to know, hey man, I'm about to cut back door. I don't need the ball in my hands. I can play without the ball. I don't need that.
And that is the difference between today's game and
See,
earlier.
The value
right?
of being able to be effective without having the ball in your hand constantly doesn't really get acknowledged anymore.
At all.
It's very important to be able to be effective in a game without having the ball every single possession.
No one knows how to be a big 3, a real big 3. Like, I think that is what's missing, and I think that this is the problem with the Lakers. This is the problem with Boston at times. This is the problem with Dame and Giannis. This is the problem with the Phoenix Suns. They haven't figured out what made Golden State great with the big 3, what made Boston with Paul Pierce in the big 3 great,
Miami.
what makes Denver great. That the 3-headed monsters run the offense through each other. It's not you try to do you. If you don't have it, give it to me. I'm gonna try to do me. If I don't have it, I'm gonna give it to you. Bomb. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay,
No, it's
that's-
like, yo, here, we're gonna be on this side and we're gonna try to figure out shit. Okay, back door, give it to you, pick and roll, I'm flat. We're playing through each other. They're figuring shit out.
They're
right?
literally playing hot potato with the
Like Draymond Green, Curry, and Clay, it was them together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 2 figured out how to move and play with them, right? Then when KD came, it became the 4.
Yes.
Figured out how to play through each other. And that's the problem. You're so powerful. If you say, all right, hold on. Here, let's do some triangle pick and roll, some splits between the 3 of us. Let Grayson Allen and Nurkic. Hey, Nurkic, go set a pick. Do a down pick, corner pick for Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen, you curl it. If you don't like it, re-pick. You motherfuckers get dizzy over there.
But you know
Grayson,
why it's
Grayson
not,
probably gonna be out the mix though.
you know
moving
why it's
forward.
not working though? It's because the Phoenix Sun big 3 and the Clipper big 3 is guard heavy. Look
ball
at Miami.
dominant,
Ball
guard
dominant,
heavy.
guard heavy. Look at Miami when Bron was there. D-Wade, Bron,
And Bosh.
KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. This is a big that can facilitate Draymond
So
Green.
you don't think a big 3 is possible with all guards?
You gotta have a big because the obligation for the big is one,
Phoenix.
to rebound, right? To have a post presence that can score. And then you gotta have a screener. Somebody
screener.
that's willing to get you open.
A screener,
Right? So
yeah.
now if you don't got that, Chris Bosh will say, I'm gonna sacrifice my ISOs that I had in Toronto
screens.
to set screens for D-Wade. Now D-Wade said, I'm gonna now sacrifice having the ball in my hand all the time to slashing. Now I'm gonna slash and get to the free throw line. Now LeBron, hey listen, hey look, CB, we're gonna need to let LeBron be LeBron. He can do whatever the fuck he want. Same with Ray Allen. Ray Allen, you don't have to have the ball in your hand. You don't have to come out pick and roll and none of that shit.
Run
We're
around.
just gonna screen for you.
Run around and make.
Paul, you gonna have your ISOs. We're gonna move out the way. KG, hey, listen, fuck that. Y'all don't gotta throw the ball to me at all. I'm gonna be the Draymond Green. I'm gonna screen for Rondo. I'm gonna go lobs. I'm gonna play defense. I don't really need it. But when y'all need me to have it, I still got this in my bag.
Yeah.
But they don't have that.
But even when KG had it, boom, right? we already knew the first person he's looking for.
Yep.
He's looking for Paul Pierce ducking.
Ducking in. Yep.
So now while you sitting here, like, all right, we're about to double, Paul Pierce ducking in.
Boom.
If you don't have Paul Pierce ducking in, someone's setting a flare for Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Woo,
Yeah.
woo, that's
'Cause they
so
looking at
dangerous.
Paul
Right, so
Pierce.
everybody's
So
still
dangerous.
busy.
Yes.
So now we can't even focus on KG if he decided to go one-on-one.
Yeah.
Who wide open?
Rondo.
At the free throw line.
And then when Rondo get it, it's a damn near pick and roll, pass it to him because you helped me, boom. Right. But the three main players is moving with each other. When LeBron James drove and you decided to take a charge, Dwayne Wade is coming down the lane. Like, oh my God. When Dwayne Wade split, right, boom, and we reacted, soon as you look this way, LeBron cut right in front of you. Here we go. That's what these three don't have
They don't at all.
today. And that's why Jokic and Denver Nuggets is so hard to guard, because when you're focusing on those two, the other three know how to play basketball.
Yes.
The other three know how to play.
That's
they're not
coaching too.
They're not just sitting there like, huh?
Oh, yeah, look at last game. Jamal Murray had a horrible shooting night. They still figured it out.
Came back in the fourth.
I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. I'm
Like,
waiting on it.
motherfucker, do you shoot threes? No. Then why you sitting at 3-point line?
Cut,
You
my
dunk?
nigga.
Hey, how about this? When I get it and I drive and your man steps up, how about go for a lob? Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
All Aaron Gordon does.
Ooh, that makes
All he
sense.
does.
But if you think about Phoenix, they got 3 guards that like to shoot jumpers. And ain't none of them relegated to one, have a post presence. Just think if KD said, nah, I'm going to function out at the post tonight. Play off me. And then I'm going to post and turn on this motherfucker and dribble. Even if it was Book, you play off the post. Who guarding you, bro? Play off the post. Conley on you. Post this little nigga up.
I'm up.
But then, if you don't put Bobo in, Rudy gonna be back there sitting down there all day long for the weak side. You gotta put the big. You gotta finish
Now
the big.
think about it. If I have Conley in and Booker's on the point,
And
or
Bobo's
Bill,
out.
and I'm sitting here doing. When you come, Bobo sitting at 3-point line with Bobo. When he comes, dive.
And dunk that bitch.
And if you
time.
dive, somebody steps. The next man, that's KD sitting in the corner three.
wide open.
Right? It's simple.
It's very simple.
Very simple.
It's simple. They got so. That's
Come
what I
on,
said.
Vogel.
Coaches got
Be a
so
coach.
lazy.
Yep.
They got so lazy.
Yeah, picking up,
and-
hand-picking names, like you said, instead of building a team that they have to
Hand-picking
coach.
names. Hand-picking. Good, because it looks good on paper.
Looks good.
Looked great on paper when the deal happened. Do you think they'll be able to figure this out? Because they have not done so.
Not without.
The reason
Well,
I said
not having Grayson's going to make it a little hard.
even with him, there's no upside to the offense that we've seen, right? There's no like this looks good when it looks great. There's none of that, right? The only thing that looks great is if they're hitting their shots when they're going ISO.
Yep.
Looks great.
Yep.
Right? The team itself functionality has never been there.
Facts.
Right? It's just
Right.
if this guy is on, he's on. If this guy is, if they're all three on, woo, they're invincible. With Jokic in Denver, when they look bad,
It's still a machine there.
it's still the machine is there. That means Jokic drove and wide open shots, they just missed their wide open
Yep,
shots.
yep.
When he drove and he threw the lobs, it just went out of bounds or someone deflected those out of bounds plays. When we did the pick and roll and I hit back and I just missed my shot.
Yeah, but you know,
But for the most part, everything has been wide open for them. It's not me hitting there, me do a whole bunch of
Struggling.
side
You're not
steps, shooting
struggling.
28
Yeah,
footers.
it look bad.
It just look bad.
Yeah.
They look great when they go in. Like, ooh, but at the end of the day, is how often are you going to be able
Tough
to shoot?
shot. Them tough shots.
like you said with Joker, though, he can get buckets when needed. Jamal Murray struggling the first 3 quarters. I can fill that role. Fourth quarter, nah, we coming to you.
The only person that shoots tough shots on Denver is Jokic, one-legged, pullback at the end of the shot clock.
Yeah.
Right?
And at this point, that's not a tough shot. That's just
But even if
Straight cash.
but those are end of the shot clock shots when he has to do those are not his normal shots. Those are end of the shot clocks, which is basically Hail Marys, right? And he's making a high percentage of those.
Yeah.
And then we can say the hardest jump shooter on the team is Michael Porter Jr.
Yep.
Yeah.
Other than that, Gordon's never taken hard shots.
Nope.
KCP's not taking hard shots. Brown coming in is not taking hard shots, right? Peyton Watt. Everyone is getting easy buckets.
That goes back to you saying though, Dirty Frank don't got assistants. And I knew he didn't have assistants when he got hired. They got rid of Monty, they put him in. I'm like, you just left the Lakers.
Granted, you got that little bubble chip, but after that,
Not a little bubble chip.
I'm
Sean.
just
The
saying.
hardest championship.
he
in the
didn't
NBA
even have to put in a system for them guys. Though.
Well, you had a bunch of high IQ basketball.
They
players.
knew how to fucking
Literally. They
play.
had
You didn't have to put in a system.
I gave him I gave him a C. I gave him a C for that wasn't him. I said, you had this well-oiled machine, right? A bubble happened, but you have LeBron James. You have the bubble, right? You wasn't the Clippers. When I say you wasn't the Clippers, you didn't have a bunch of individual thinkers, right? I think about the club. I think about, you had LeBron James who had control, right? Hey, listen, we might be coming back. Everybody stay in shape. You had Dwight Howard who stayed. You had, Rondo. Staying in shape. You had a bunch of guys who you knew no matter what was going to happen, they were still going to be in some type of shape.
Professionals.
Everybody else,
Right.
Miami, you knew was going to be in shape.
Yep, they were hungry.
They was going to be on. So, but when you look at your group versus them, there was no way you should have lost 2 games against the Miami Heat that day.
Period.
Right, like you're saying you lost 2 games. How? How is because you have 3 guys in who are ranked probably 200 in the NBA. You had Bradley, you had
Avery Bradley.
You had Green at the time.
Avery Bradley didn't go to the bubble, though.
But he didn't go to the bubble. But I'm just talking about you're starting. You're starting. Caruso. These are the guys you're starting. They're starting, 3 guys, but those 3 guys are a little bit better than yours. So they really have an advantage over you at this point in time. So you dropped 2 games because of that. But other than that, it should have been 4-0.
Well, he don't got no system. When you think about the system, again, going back to it before you go, the system that Dirty Frank never really allows to put in.
Why do you call him that?
Because he's dirty, man. They're just Dirty Frank. It's like Frank the Tank. You know what I'm saying? Frank the Tank. This is
Going
Dirty
streaky.
Frank. But I'm just saying, like, when you don't have a system and you look over there and you're like, you got KD, you got Book, you got Bill, you got fucking Eric Gordon, you got Bobo, you got a bunch of guys who know how to play the game, and you haven't put in a system where they can relegate how to maneuver in this system. When you got a system and you're a good player, you know where your shots are coming. If I don't know where my fucking shots are coming, I'm out here just hoping you pass me the ball. That's what I feel like Bradley Beal is out there doing. He's out there hoping he gets a shot somewhere in the offense.
Yeah.
And now that's why I'm saying move around, because you're fucking up these 2 guys who are expecting shots in scenarios, not in the system. Think about if you put them in the system. Book ain't got to never really worry about calling a play or doing a pick and roll and just hoping that he get all this hard shit off. We running the fucking offense just like Denver. Denver run that fucking offense, give it to Jokic, go down, pin, dribble handoff, weak side, pin down, curl, boom. Go up, everybody go to the basket. Like, that shit is weird.
1-4 high. 1-4 high with Booker at the top, right? You can do for Beal, you can run the Iverson cut across.
Yep.
Right, where you run him across, Grayson Allen goes below,
underneath.
which means you have Nurkic and KD at the top.
Yep.
Right? That means if you throw it to one of them, that means Booker, whoever's guarding him, he can just run straight down the lane, post up by himself.
Decoys.
Right? Decoy by himself, because obviously no one can help, because these are 2 shooters that just ran through, so there's no help off of them. If you give it to KD and you come off, quick pick and roll with
Quick
you and
pick
Nurkic,
and roll.
him and Nurkic.
No help.
There's
No help. No help down there.
There's no help. And then if
my
Nurkic
Lord.
man goes, that's KD at the fucking free throw line 1-on-1.
All day.
Like, I'm sitting here like, yo, and let's say you give it to Nurkic, right? KD can just cut same side, slash to the post by yourself. The only help man would be Nurkic guy at the free throw line. He comes down, Nurkic dives. Like, I'm just
Not even that. Even if you do the pick and roll with Nurk and KD at the top after the Iverson cut, Grayson Allen filling down, you look for Nurk down there. Who's got to help him? Who's got to help on that pick and roll? Grayson Allen's guy. He's wide open in the corner all day long, wide open 3.
You just trying to figure out where the fuck is the just.
So as a reminder,
Dirty
Grayson
Frank.
Allen hurt in game 2.
But even
Questionable
okay,
for game
Gordon,
3. I'm
Eric
just saying.
Gordon.
Dirty
Just saying.
Frank. He don't concept.
Like, I'm sitting here
The
thinking
players
about.
he have.
I'm thinking about all the little just out of timeout plays. Just all right, we don't have
That's
nothing.
like a coach's dream having those 3 on the
Yes.
court.
Hawk cut
Even
it.
with-
We're going to hawk cut it.
And Nurkic is a very good passer.
Like, I can throw the ball at Nurkic and then run off of. I throw it to Nurkic, boom, and then all right, KD. I'm gonna brush off KD and try to get the lob.
Slick cut.
If I don't get the lob, I can do a handoff to KD, because the guy who has to help, if Booker, and if I come off the lob, who has to help? Has to be KD's guy.
Yep.
Now hand off to KD or just pass it to KD. Whoever the fucking one is going to KD.
And think about the defense that's out there against them. It's Rudy on the dribble handoff that's gonna have to switch off and go under. Then it's, when you get McDaniels off of a KD and making them switch onto someone else where Conley now is on KD in a mismatch, you're creating mismatches because you have a system where guys know where to go. Yeah. We're not freelancing.
Yeah, it's not freelance pick and roll. There's like just little things you can put it that just makes the offense more dangerous, and that's what Golden State had this whole time, and that's what Denver has.
Facts.
All right, well, let's keep this thing moving. We will stay in the Western Conference. Kawhi Leonard made his comeback for the Clippers Game 2 meeting with the Mavs after missing the last 9 games with knee inflammation. But Luka put on a show on both sides of the floor to help the Mavs steal the win and home court advantage. So Luka dropped 32 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, 11 for 26 from the field, but 5 for 14 from 3.
What's Tupac doing?
Came up with some big plays down the stretch. More on his defense in a moment. Kyrie had 23, 6 rebounds, 3 dimes, 3 steals. So Harden followed up his 28-point Game 1 by dropping 22 points and 8 assists. Paul George also had 22 as well and 4 dimes. Kawhi played 35 minutes. He had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, but was 7 for 17 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. The Clippers shot a season low, 36.8% from the field in the game, and they were 8 for 30 from 3. And we see what Luka's doing on the offensive side of the ball. Killing and cooking, but he was a big reason for the Mavs' defensive success as well.
Just looking at him.
So you see this play right here. Clippers were 2 for 17 from the field when Luka was the primary defender.
Yo, that's terrible offense, bro. That's terrible.
Forcing Kawhi into the air ball.
Now go back. This is for all my
and there's the dagger 3.
This is for all
it did go in case you were wondering.
This is for all my hoop heads out there. Here, go back.
Keep going. Keep going.
To the defensive play.
Keep going.
Go back. All right. Right here. All right.
Count it down from here. It's 10 seconds on the shot clock.
This is why when I said as an offensive player, I never picked on the weakest defender. The reason you do not pick on the weakest defender is because the team
knows that they're the weakest defender.
No, what I'm saying, the team is designed to protect them, right?
Yes.
So when you're trying to go at the defender, look at the nail guy, right? He is overly over the nail. Like his left foot is supposed to be at the middle of the nail. He's saying, fuck it, I'm on the goddamn elbow. Now you look at the bottom, the middle guy, he's coming over. So fast forward just a little bit, play it a little bit. So now look at what Kawhi is looking at. Look, Kawhi has no opening.
Left Westbrook.
If he was like, you have nowhere to go when you're playing against a bad defender. So
That's
it looks like
by Westbrook. Though.
It looks like Luka's playing great defense, but it's great help defense too.
It's called elbows and boxes.
Elbows and more than elbows and boxes. Look, he's not guarding that man. So Kawhi has nowhere to go anyway. Right? But that's why you don't go against the guy that you think is the weakest defender.
Yeah. Go back again. Go back again for us one more time.
Bad shot as well, though.
Yeah, that's horrible.
But that's good IQ. Like, even with Russell Westbrook, he sees his man completely leaving.
Right there.
That's why you set that flare screen or that whatever screen. But
so
I don't see him.
This is standard Jason Kidd NBA defense. Elbows and boxes. Nail, midline guy, low guy.
Yes.
Kyrie's, his guy's going through to the corner, so he has to go with him. Calibra, he's clearing 2-9. He could either stay over there with Westbrook on that other elbow, but what he's doing is he's coming back to this other block. And he's the show body. I got you elbows and boxes. Now, what Kawhi is doing is what we call stopping the fucking ball.
Facts.
10 seconds on the shot clock. He's dribble. What you're wasting dribbles doing nothing right now. So then he keeps going. He tries to go middle. There's a guy right there on the nail.
This ball should have went to Powell. Look,
right there.
See, look, this is rewind. Now, all the people, and this is why I say stop listening to ESPN and all them fucking people. They do not understand fucking basketball, right? They do not know what they're looking at. They do not know who's valuable on the team. Play it a little bit more. The most valuable guy right now is Russell Westbrook. He gave himself up, stop the ball. He said his man is helping. His man is the one who stopped Kawhi. He said a pick for Powell, who's actually wide open for the three. Now, if this ball was in Jokic's hands,
that's going to him.
if this ball was in Murray's hand, they would have made this pass, which makes the team better.
100%.
Right? So that pass goes to that three, and that's a three. Guess who's not at that nail next time?
That motherfucker's gone.
That motherfucker is not at that nail. So now the next play, when Kawhi starts to go ISO basketball, he can go middle.
Yep.
That's what makes certain players dangerous. That's what makes certain players important. See, no one's going to credit Russell Westbrook for this pick.
No.
See, if Kawhi makes this pass, Kawhi becomes the whoa, he did a great job. When the great job became because of Russell Westbrook's IQ of understanding who is open. He knows he could have just sat there and became the open guy for the three, but he set the screen because he knows this is a better three-point shooter.
Kawhi doesn't even see that.
No, he
But
doesn't.
Kawhi is not thinking of team right now.
That's-
This is the difference. When you got Kawhi having the ball like this, he's driving middle, but he's not driving middle to make a move because there's already two other guys there. One up the top at the free throw line and one below him. He's trying to relegate that they come and go back so that he can keep the dribble. If you play it, it's 2 seconds already at the shot clock. 7, 6.
He can go straight to James Harden or Powell.
5. He still got the ball. He's still trying to make a play, and he knows that he has 2 or 3 people on him.
Shit, now James
Pump
Harden
fake.
open.
Now James Harden's open because the Powell cut. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why the offense doesn't look as important as it's supposed to, because the people who are making the plays are not getting the ball. Powell made a cut that actually engaged. So Russell Westbrook and Powell engage both the bottom guys.
Yep.
So
And Paul George pulls all the way over.
Pulls all the way over.
All the way over, bring his man.
Now one of your best three-point shooters is by himself unguarded. That is the play with 4 seconds left. No one minds getting the ball now. If you pass the ball to me and I'm James Harden, this is a great pass.
With 4 seconds on
With
the
4
shot
seconds on the clock and I'm by myself.
Yep.
These are the plays that make the better teams great.
Yep.
That's what players like me realize when you're hurt, when you're watching what made, the Lakers great, what made San Antonio great, what made those Paul Pierce and that team, what made these little plays. Because I'm Kawhi. I'm making this in my young day when I'm playing. That's the fucking stupid shot I'm taking.
Yep.
So when you say what makes championship basketball, it's not the play Kawhi's making right now. It's that play that's going to James Harden. It's the play that Russell Westbrook and Powell made.
Yep.
Those are what Paul George made. Because if Paul George stays at the top,
And it ain't open.
it ain't open.
He can play too.
Because he's coming over, that is the play.
Yep.
And Kawhi has to realize that he has to give it up. Give himself up for the team. He's been making this play all regular season.
He's been making this. What made him a champion, though, right? So I don't say he's selfish because he didn't see it this one time.
Yeah.
This is what made him a champion in San Antonio. This is what made him a champion in Toronto, because they were making plays like that. They didn't have all the talent in the world, but them making these little plays like this is what is the difference between championship basketball.
Well, that's why I can say a guy like Kawhi, I feel like he was constructed. He was a constructed player where he didn't know these plays existed until he was put into these situations where he had to be the star guy. When you're a good player, you know what good plays are. You know what the right plays are. Draw to someone's open. When that guy flashes down the lane and he's not open because you brought somebody else, you have to make the jump pass. You have to take yourself out of the play, out of scoring position, throw that fucking pass because he's open. Now, if he comes to the bench in that timeout and he says something to you, you can't fucking go off on him because he's open. Hey, bro, why you ain't? You know I'm open over there on the weak side. Oh, my bad, I didn't see you. But you didn't see me for the last 3 times, bro.
Right. Since it's working, they're going to keep doing it. That's why you got to acknowledge it.
You got to acknowledge it because it's like, bro, you at least see me over here. I'm trying. No, you're trying to score, bro. You're not trying to take what the defense gives you. They're giving us this shot for James every time, and you don't want it because you want to get this shot off.
Because you got the weakest defender on you, and you think that.
Yes.
You need to score on us.
And I know that's what says, oh, Luka played great defense. We get it.
We get it.
I get the narrative.
I knew you had something.
We got all the notifications.
I get the great defense of, what we want to put on Luka, right? The reason the Mavs has been the number one defense in the last few months is because you got to see it right here in real time.
Yep. Jason Kidd's adjustments.
Right? Jason Kidd, and that's how they played, right? And they've probably now trusted what he's been saying. So we're smaller, right? Individually, we're not very great at containing the ball.
Facts.
But if we can make them do other passes, make them throw it all the way to Powell, make them do all of this, that helps us out.
Yes.
So,
but he knows this NBA is not doing that.
And that's why it looks the way it looks. Because that's the scramble defense I was talking about. Elbows and boxes, make them throw the weak side, scramble back out, close out, run them off the three-point line, make them shoot contested too. And you're going to live with the defensive percentages from there. We guarantee they're going to shoot under 40% from field.
So Mavs fans were blowing up my mentions last night, wanted me to relay a message to you about Luka's defense. So Clippers were 2 for 17 from the field when Luka was a primary defender. After the game, Luka had a message for all his critics that say he doesn't play defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's playoffs, it's different. They're trying to double with me, and I said no double. I take pride, in my defense too. They're always going to say that, the haters, but it's fine, man. I'm out here enjoying playing basketball. That's fun, man. That's what I do. That's what I want to do my whole life, so I just enjoy doing that.
Doubles.
They said
No
they
doubles.
said double. I say no double.
But the thing is,
I say no double.
But what I'm saying is, what makes him a bad defensive player to what makes him a great defensive player? All it is it's help.
Team.
Right? It's the team part of it, right? So when people say you don't play defense, says who? What metrics? I was great at on ball. You didn't blow past me on ball defense. Pick and rolls, okay. Those are my strong points. Coming off down screens, fuck all that. Right? Running through double screens, I'm good on that. But my man himself, no, you ain't going nowhere, Playboy. Right? Same thing with here. He is a little slow-footed.
Yeah.
Right?
He's big as shit.
So it's like, well, how about this? Make sure they don't get you off the first dribble so we can load up.
Right, give us time.
Because you're tall enough, so if someone tries to back you down,
He'll be good.
we're not going to help you.
No.
He's like, cool. Right? So it's in their element. Now you figured out how to protect him defensively because he knows I can challenge shots. I can keep him from posting me up, right? Well, when it comes to taking me off the dribble, I'm going to have trouble with some of the fast guys.
Yep.
If this was Fox, help.
Yes.
Right? Help on Fox. Kawhi, he doesn't dribble very well. These guys want to play with the game. Make sure that they can't go to the basket. Make sure you lock it on. I can defend. Now he becomes an excellent defender. Right?
That was the adjustments that they made, I believe. That they went back to film and they said, Luka, that's a straight line drive, bro.
Well, also, Kawhi slows the Clippers down a little bit.
He slows, yeah.
Well, I'm
The
talking
ball
about even
stopper.
regular season defense for Luka.
Yeah.
When I was having a problem with his defense, I'm like, God damn.
I mean, in
bro.
not so many words, a lot of the players have basically said that they do not care about playing defense until the playoffs.
Until the playoffs, right?
Yeah, but now you're seeing the effort.
It's
and what it
glaring
takes.
because now something's at stake other than just your record in the regular season. That's why Luka wasn't playing defense. He didn't feel like he fucking had to. It wasn't nothing at stake. Now that you're in the playoffs and we're watching you play defense, you can't afford to show us straight line drives. Now Jason Kidd's saying, I can't afford for it to look that way either. I need to have somebody back there in the way. We need to have guys in the way saying, all right, we got your help, Luka.
I mean, as long as Kawhi's in the lineup, that benefits Dallas and their defense.
But that's what I always say. I said, when you tell me someone's bad at defense, I can tell you a coach. I can show you his coach. You say he's bad at defense, then let me show you his coach. Where's the defensive schemes?
Facts.
Right? I'm looking at the schemes, the defensive schemes. I was an offensive player, an offensive juggernaut. I studied human behavior and defensive schemes. So when someone says, this guy is great at defense, I was like, no, he's not. He's great at defense because he got that motherfucker back there, and I don't want to be hit by him. Okay, LeBron, he's good at defense. Okay, you got this guy. He's like let's say Eric Snow. He's great, but he has slow speed. But they got Vrejiao back there. Vrejiao's a great tracker.
Yep.
Fuck. I don't want to be Vrejiao. I don't want to be tracked by the wild thing.
Yep.
Right. So when he's out of the game, you're lunch meat. As long as he's in the game, I can go on you because I like to jump as soon as I get past you, and he's gonna take a charge every time.
Yep.
Right. This guy who likes to block shots. I'm not worried about a shot blocker because you're gonna give me the basket. Right? See, so depending on, like if you're a shot blocker playing against me, I like you better because you're going to just give me, you're not going to try to take a charge or be in position. So you're going to give me the lane. And then it's between you blocking my shot or me jumping into you, making you fold.
Yeah.
Vrejiao didn't block shots. He's fucking trying to take 10 charges a game.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing with Ron Artest.
Yeah.
Ron Artest didn't move laterally like that. So if you can get to catch and go on him, he was dead meat. But what he was best at is if you held the ball and you was trying to make your move so he'd take that motherfucker from you. Right? And he's so good at forcing you one way. I'm going to force you here. But he played with the Indiana Pacers where they loaded up. I got Steven Jackson down here. I got Jermaine O'Neal over here. I got I got motherfuckers who lock in and play defense. Then he took that everywhere he went where I'm going to force him down here. Y'all going to get my help. So he's not going to be able to catch and go on me. Now all I got to do is stop him in his tracks. And that's what makes you a good defender when inside the team concept, I can stop everything you want to do.
Right.
I can isolate all of your individual movements and favorite things you like to do inside of the team game. I can force you down here because I know I got fucking help. This is our principles. If he's not helping, he's not coming in the game anymore. So I know we're going to do this. That's what makes great defensive players. So Luka is looking great right now because they were able to implement this and actually.
They're playing 5-on-1.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about Kawhi. Kawhi showed the rush you would expect for a dude who hasn't played in the game in more than 3 weeks. Didn't, I think, participate in any up and down contact stuff in practice. Just showed up to shoot around, said, all right, I'm ready to go.
Like what? In the playoffs?
Just showed up to shoot around. All right, I'm good. Hold up.
Usually that's how it works.
Let's get it. Braids tight. So how long does it take to play yourself back into game shape after missing an extended period of time?
Depends on what you do. It depends on what you do as a player, right? It all.
But with the knee, I mean, you're limited in the ability to run, condition, and do all that stuff. Now, I ain't played since March 31st. You're just gonna throw me out there 35 minutes.
I mean, it's, to be honest, I'm gonna just be honest. It would be a little bit easier for him to do this because his movements is not a lot of energy. 1, 2 dribble, little post up, little fade. And this is not a Giannis where he can miss 3 weeks and then he think he can get it off the glass and just sit here and do all this and not be exhausted, right? So it's like he can really control.
I think getting back in the rhythm of your team is the hardest.
That's the hardest part.
And that's what fucked them up last night.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that now. How should the Clippers approach using Kawhi in the offense with how good Harden and PG have been playing so far in this series?
Man, just because I've been on both sides of it, right? The star player coming back thinking that I still need the motherfucking ball, and a star player coming back thinking he needs the motherfucking ball, right? So I've been on both sides of it, and it's more as the star player, I should have been more mindful of understanding that they've been playing a certain way without me, and I need to come in, learn how to play with them.
The current flow.
With the current flow, right? Versus me saying, all right, the captain's back, everybody get back to your position.
Right.
I know you've been steering this motherfucker, and look, you've been doing very well. You've been doing good. I'm gonna pat you on your back, but get the fuck back then. And clean them fools, boy. Clean them fools, goddamn. It's dirty. It's dirty around here. And it's been going amazingly great with him as the captain. I gotta learn how to fit in, and that's fucking hard to do.
Absolutely.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Right? It is a very hard thing to come and swallow your pride, because I guess in real time you think you keep the keys, that I would never get him back.
Or we're not gonna go as far
No,
without me driving it.
yes, but this the ego needing to understand is it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter how we get to the fucking finish line. We got to get there. If this person's been running this race very great for us, I gotta trust them. Sometimes a great leader has to be a follower at sometimes.
No.
And we don't learn that until we're fucking done and we're old and we're finished.
But you got to prepare too, as a leader that's taking the back seat for that moment of the flow, to stay prepared and
Yeah, 'cause
ready
you
for
could be
when
ready
they
for
give you
your
the
time.
keys back. Because at
Yeah.
some point when
gonna
it
happen.
stall out, like we done went as far as we can go without you steering this motherfucker. Here, we ready for you to go. Now, if you've taken the back seat and you pouting and shit and you over here mad and shit, and then they say, hey, here go the keys, and you're like, well, where we going now? It's like, you supposed to have been watching where we going. You not ready? Oh man, we need you to be ready for when we give you the keys back. Cause we only staring this motherfucker because we going at a certain speed, and we can't just hand it to you without you fucking up the little, like you fucking, like don't down. We'll slow down and we'll hand it back to you, and then we let you go. But a lot of, like you said, pride and ego will get you that. And I don't know if it's too much with Kawhi because he don't say much. But the way that he played last night, you could see that he didn't want to adjust to the flow.
It's still the players, and they, just so they don't get on your bad side, they're gonna.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it for you, and it's one of those things that you gotta basically say, listen, I'll fit into what y'all doing. Y'all are moving the ship, and it's been going well. We've been playing well, and I'll fit in. Don't worry about me. Don't call no plays from. You have to go out and say it. I'll figure out how to get my own.
Yeah.
Right.
Why
I'll
can't
figure out.
Ty Lue say it though?
Because he's not the coach. He's the coach.
Why
That's
can't-
not a
It's
coach's thing. That's a
Kawhi,
player's
like,
thing. That's a
Kawhi.
player's thing. You know that's a player.
Kawhi gotta say it.
You know a player has.
But you know if he's not the outspoken leader, he ain't gonna say it.
Exactly. So that's why he has to say it.
Yes, I said. That's
exactly why he needs to say it.
Like Karan, right? This is a prime example. When I was hurt, Karan took over leadership, right? All-star, right? We winning, making the playoffs. And when I came back, the young guy like, oh shit, here, no, it's your keys again. That's when I'm like, nah, not right now.
Right.
This is it. He's been hitting the game winners. That's when I realized, okay, I'm the number one option. He's the number 3. When I'm not there, he's the number 1.
Yep.
Right. So Antoine was just 2.
All the time.
All the time he was 2. He didn't bump the number 1. Right. So Karan went from 3 to 1. And when I came back, I should have been mindful to say, all right, he's 1. I got to go to 3.
Right.
I have to switch roles with him and do that. But it's.
You didn't know what it looked like to be at 3.
Yeah.
And that's always the ego for
that's
the star player. Like Kawhi don't know what it looks like to be 3.
Again.
Because PG is always 2? Or is it James?
Well, PG has said, I have no problem being the
PG is
number 2.
2.
PG's always the 2. So
2.
James
Those
is
games
moved to the 3 when Kawhi's on the floor. That's why James plays like that, though. And I never liked the way he played when they on the floor together because he plays the 3.
Because he goes and becomes the 3rd option, and
it don't look the same, and he don't look
You
the
need to
same
put
thing.
Russell Westbrook out there more with him.
So, Gil,
James down. So
James
don't
down?
gotta be the 3.
So you
He's
talk-
not good at the 3.
He's not good at
you talk about Westbrook, but Gil, you say Ty Lue was super happy when Westbrook came to the Clippers because it was the first time they had a leader. Westbrook this season as a leader said, you know what, I'll move to the 6-man role to help this team. Now Kawhi, as also a leader on this squad, looking the way he's looking now, how drastic of a change do you need? You think it could be something as bad as saying, look, man, let this crew rock out?
it's only one. Listen, it's only one game, right? It's one game.
Yeah, that's tough.
And with someone like Westbrook, as you can see, he does do the little things that we do not actually look at, right? That helps everybody else. So right now it's just an adjustment period, right? They lost one, try to do a little bit too much. I'm pretty sure they're going to watch the film just like we did and look at the plays that are what's the name? Looking at, all right, when Luka's on us, what are they doing? Right? Okay, so they're loading up very heavy. So who are the open players? Boom, boom, boom. Right? But that's the great part about the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
get to-
surprised Kawhi played 35.
35 minutes.
So now if you see a similar situation in game 3 that you saw in game 2, series now shifting back to Dallas, at what point do these conversations and decisions need to be had? Now, Clippers go win game 3.
No, this is playoffs, man. You're having discussions every moment. You're making adjustments every moment, right? You're looking at, okay, this is how we played. Okay, even though, was it Luka went, 10 for 26?
11 for 26.
11 for 26. So you're not really worrying about, like, we did a great job on Luka, right? He hit fucking big shots. That's what he does. We got to live with that. 10, 11 for 26. Okay, cool. Where did we fuck up?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy got more shots than we expected. We gave up this many. These plays we didn't see and make on the offensive end, right? Those are the adjustments that you make, knowing that, okay, we contained Luka doing this. What is Jason Kidd going to throw in to combat that? We have to be ready for that combat. That's what the playoffs is about.
You can't give away games in the playoffs and thinking that, all right, it's just one game, right? I strongly believe that Ty Lue cannot look at that game one, come into game two, change what the fuck you did to win game one in order to appease a player. You can't come in game two and be like, we got Kawhi back. Let's figure out how.
Here's 35 minutes. Go figure it out. Yeah.
Because you just beat their ass the way you played this game and it felt good.
Smacked them.
So you come in and you lose the game because you made an adjustment. Now you got to do what? If you're not going to go back to what you did game one.
That's another adjustment.
Now you're making a whole nother adjustment. And now the hypothetical is, we don't know if you're going to win or not.
Yeah, and if you now lose that game three after making that adjustment in two, now I'm trying to get it back to one in game four.
How do you go back to game one? Because you won game one without Kawhi.
But that's the playoffs, though, dog. You know what I mean? That's the playoffs, man. You're sitting there trying to outsmart each other, man.
Exactly.
And that's the chess part. And the problem with Ty Lue is, you've won a championship, you've done it, but you're going up against a player who is a high-level thinker.
Yep.
Right? He's, you're dealing with Luka and Jason Kidd at the point guard position, not just fucking Luka. You're dealing with someone whose brain moves a lot faster than everybody else when he played.
Yep.
Right? So that means he already knows little things. Spill a little water. He ain't got no time out. Spill a little water over here. Take his shoe off. Right? Hey, the fan. He knows all those little tricks and trades to get what he needs to get. Right? So you have to deal with little things like that too. So, this is a very good battle. It's going to be a great exciting, series for the most part, because you got very high level guys on the court and
Behind the bench,
on the bench.
And we got our resident Clippers fan, Gilbert Arenas. We also got to talk about your favorite team in the East and your favorite head coach. Pacers and Bucks met for game two. Pacers looking to bounce back after getting smacked in game one. Pascal Siakam put the team on his back once again. Another dominant performance.
Euro.
So Siakam followed up his 36-point, 13-rebound game one by dropping a playoff career high 37 points in game two, along with 11 rebounds and 6 assists. Siakam is the first NBA player to open the playoffs with back-to-back 35-10 games since Wilt did it in 1967.
Jeez.
Miles Turner added 22.7 rebounds, 6 assists. Andrew Nebhart had a 20-piece as well. Tyrese Haliburton finished with 12 points and 12 dimes. Got to talk a little bit about Dame as well. He followed up his 35-point game one first half explosion by dropping 34 points in game two. Was 10 for 21 from the field. But Pacers got the win in convincing fashion. Took the ball back from Giannis.
KD right there.
All day.
Come on, you can't lose to I am the captain now.
Yes, you can.
I am the captain now. I can't lose to that.
Look at me.
Haliburton, pass that bitch to me.
So the series now heads back to Indianapolis for game 3 and 4. What is Siakam showing you these past two games, and what can the Bucks do to try to slow him down?
They need Giannis.
He understands basketball.
And mismatching.
Right? I think the player he is right now, I think that's what we expected when that playoff series with Kawhi, when they won that championship. This is what they seen in him in Toronto when they were like, yeah, this is going to be the guy. He understood the assignment. I'm not settling. Everybody else can settle. I'm not settling. Small guy on me, give me it to the post.
Exactly.
So the thing we said about KD and them, This is how it's supposed to look. You have a small guy, you dive, boom.
Yes.
They got no shot blocker back here. Who's the fucking shot blocker? Huh? Frankenstein? Oh, Frankenstein ain't blocking nobody back here, man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go hit. When I get Frankenstein on me, I'm taking him off the dribble.
Give for the audience who doesn't know who Frankenstein is.
They know who the fuck Frankenstein is.
They know who he is.
They know who Frankenstein is.
Know what he looked like, too.
The fucking Lopez, dog.
For real.
I'm sorry about my own, but I am very disappointed in him.
Yes.
Dirty Frank, Frankenstein.
To me, we lost the game because of him.
I don't like him on the floor, period, because it's just shoot threes, bro. That's all he do. Just fuck. He don't rebound. He had 17
He shot more
points.
threes than twos.
Man, he had one rebound.
That's funny.
One rebound.
One.
The commentator was like, I remember.
One.
The biggest dude.
One.
The biggest dude on the
Like the number after zero and before
He used to get a double-double. Brooklyn, he was a double-double guy. He stopped.
7 threes.
Period.
It's crazy.
20
You're
and
a
10,
center.
Brooklyn.
I feel sorry for my man Doc, man. Out there with them fucking bums, dog.
Siakam.
Oh, the bum. I wonder why we was losing all them games. Because he got goddamn Lopez out there not doing his job.
At all.
He's 7'7". One rebound. I got the guard coming off the bench, Pat. Rebounding.
7
Rebounding.
rebounds. Pat has 7.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, right now we don't have Giannis to go there and get the ball off the glass and go.
You gotta
get
get
your big ass down there, man.
Trying to shoot threes all the time.
Yeah,
trying to shoot
Giannis
threes.
isn't there because didn't we say Lopez likes to be the box out person?
Yes.
But you don't have.
I don't need no box out,
Can't
goddammit.
do that. You got to go get the ball now.
I'm feeling sorry for Doc right now with that goddamn shit we got going on, man. I lose my best player, Giannis. Dame out there trying. I got Dame doing everything out here, and I got big ass Lopez out there wanting to do what? Let me box you out. This ain't AAU, you ain't 5, dude. You are not 5. This is not the box out drill where we box the guy out and let the ball dribble for 4 damn dribbles. That's not this. Go get the ball.
He literally do that shit.
Yes.
You see him, he's turning and looking for the guy.
Yeah,
Where
go
he
get the
at?
ball.
The ball is just
Get the
bouncing in
ball.
front of you, bro.
Ball hit this man in the back of the head. Someone else get. This is not time for that, dog.
Go get the ball.
I'm feeling, you know, man, I know Doc is like, man, hey, Thanasis, go out there and give me the rebound. At this point,
Facts.
Thanasis, can you get the ball?
Facts.
Just give me the ball.
Just go get it.
Just give it to Dame.
Is it the nasty time?
It might be, man.
The nasty.
But Brook gonna get you the 15 points that they looking for. That's the only difference why you gotta have him on the floor. He stretched the floor. He can't hit the shot. But I need you to rebound.
This time I need you to be. We do, but that's what I'm saying. This is the time where you have to make up for everyone else. Giannis is not there. I cannot make up his points, but I can make up his rebounds. Right? I cannot be Brook Lopez out there getting 1 rebound. I can't be Brook Lopez out there getting 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
I gotta be out there trying to get 15.
Easy.
Fucking.
Or Porter's gotta fucking come up too, though. I can't just put it on Brook.
I mean, Porter's did his.
Yeah, you got 11.
But
He had 11.
11, yeah.
Okay, Bobby does it. Bobby gotta be consistent with doing that.
Siakam getting the fucking 12 and 13 because I had him under 9. I didn't think he can do it again. Wrong. I was wrong.
37 and 11.
I was wrong.
Because he see the discrepancy. Go to the
Yes.
board.
Go to the board.
They ain't there.
This man ain't boxing out. The man, he said he's boxing out. He's boxing out the wrong dude.
Man.
Yeah. Bobby Portis led the Bucks in rebounding with 11.
Miles Turner.
Yeah.
Miles Turner said that 3-point line. What the hell you boxing him out for?
Miles don't rebound either. That's why it's good
I
for
seen
them
this
to.
nigga-
You guard Miles because he don't rebound and both of y'all don't rebound.
I seen him box out the damn ball boy. You know the dude who sweep up?
I got you.
I got him, coach. He should get you. Like, he's the dude that I get it. Like, sometimes, Doc, I get you, Doc. Sometimes you just got to give one guy one thing to do, right? Hey, Lopez, box out. Just box out. Okay, coach. I got you, coach.
That's Mad Dog.
Like,
Mark
come on,
Madsen.
man.
Mad Dog, Mark
You can't
Madsen.
do that, man.
Mad Dog. Box him out.
Where's Robin Lopez?
Who's the other one?
At least he rebounds.
He do.
I know he rebounds. God damn it. I guess that was the twin thing. I box out,
You rebound.
Nah, but when he came in, when Brooke came in, he had a different program. They programmed him to score. The Frankenstein. We need you. Hey, go score that motherfucker. He was in that bitch. Left hand, right hand. He wasn't shooting no threes.
Ever since that vaccine?
Oh, yeah. The vaccine said,
Ever since that vaccine?
Shoot that bitch. Don't go in there at all. Shoot that bitch. No layups, nigga. Period.
Brooke, 6.2 career rebounder per game.
Wow.
And that's probably
what was
it's probably that high because
Robin 4.7.
I'm saying it's probably because that high because of the beginning of his career. I'm pretty sure he ain't been getting 6 a year for the last like 4-5 years. I'm sure.
So how much blame does Doc Rivers deserve for this?
Zero. You see what we got? We got a big man who can't even rebound. What you talking about? Doc don't get none.
Your Doc Rivers support turned a new leaf, Gil.
Damn, he got this damn Adrian goddamn team he done got. This is false. This is like, Doc got the Instagram team. I'm calling it Instagram team. With all them nice ass filters, you think you getting the prize.
Man,
you think you getting the prize as soon as they pull it, oh my Lord. That's what happened to my man Doc.
The angles.
Oh, Brooke never did do double-double. I was wrong. He was close. He was 18-8 in Brooklyn. And then he was 20-6, 20-7. I think 8.6 was his highest.
What has it been in the last like 3 years since he's been with Milwaukee?
Shit, 4.
Damn.
No, since he's been in Milwaukee is 5, 4.5, 5, 4.4, 6.7, and 5.2.
See, I guess it makes sense when you have Giannis, but when Giannis is literally just going to get every rebound. But you don't have that right now, so that's not something you can do. Like when Aquaman.
Steven Adams.
With Steven Adams, you had you had Westbrook. You had Westbrook, right? So you had Westbrook who went back and got it. You don't have
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
I knew exactly what you were talking about too.
Exactly who you're talking about. So let's think about it for a second. Oh yeah, Steven Adams.
Dirty Frank, Frankenstein, Aquaman.
Yeah.
We need a list of everybody's nicknames.
Wouldn't be a show without Eric Snow getting a name.
So Doc, this is not your problem, baby. Keep going. I know you got some garbage out there. Help is on the way.
So you talk about help being on the way. That may not be the case, Gil. So according to Shams, Giannis may not be returning to the court in the near future, will likely be unavailable until later in the series, if at all. So depending on how things shake out. On an episode of Run It Back today, Shams said the following: I'm told Giannis has at least started to do some stationary jump shooting, but still not much cutting, no scrimmaging, no all-out running yet. I think the Bucks have to be prepared to keep playing on without Giannis.
Hell yeah.
So Dame is being Dame.
Well, didn't they say he was missing the first series?
The first series, yeah.
Shams reported that?
Shams.
Because I swear to God, we said it when he got injured. He ain't coming back because it's a low
Achilles.
It's a high Achilles, low. What's the name? And we've seen what happened to West.
So according to Gilbert Arenas of Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog Fantasy, woof woof.
Yeah, we didn't pretend that we've never seen this before. We played. We know what the injury is. So when they were saying all this, no, motherfucker, you would be a dumbass if you decided to come back. How he plays the game with this injury, we know what this injury is.
But
we've seen it through
Greco-Nigerian superhuman.
Like we know, like if you get like the sports hernia, we know it starts and then it moves up. There's been enough athletes to see how it's done panned out. So with something like this, we know KD, we know anyone who's had this injury, we know it started with the low calf strain. Right? Low calf strain.
I knew he was gonna miss his whole series.
So yeah, he's not coming back. So
Well, I got a question though. What's up with Haliburton?
Yeah.
You think that hammy is still?
I want to know, is he really as good as we think? Now, hear me out. I think he's a traditional point guard that had a breakout season where guys didn't adjust to him being the traditional point guard that he is. When you're a traditional point guard, you don't have to have a signature move. You don't have to have an ISO game. You don't have to have a get to your bucket game. He don't got that.
He's very random.
He don't got that.
Yeah.
Like, he can't go get you 25 every night. He can't go get you 20 every night. But he can go get you 15 assists.
Yeah, he can get you 10 to 15 assists, 1 turnover.
Yeah, he gonna run the offense, right? So I'm looking at the game and I'm like, even when I do my pick'ems and I'm picking them, I'm like, damn, is he gonna get 17 tonight? Pat Bev out there hounding him.
Dame, they're playing a strategic defense on him, but it's like he's not trying to get his buckets. All right? So if the team lose based on the fact that Siakam, they adjust to Siakam, which I think Doc will do, we're going to take the ball out his hands. Who going to score on the Pacers? If he's not the guy that's like, I can get a bucket when I need to get a bucket, and I don't know if he can yet. I don't know if his game has gotten there. I think when you can hide yourself as a player based on not getting accolades and attention for being good, you can hide like a Mike Bibby, like a Kevin Martin. Where Mike Bibby was so good, he didn't get the attention. He wasn't an all-star, none of that, but he'll torch your ass for 20 a game. Every game.
Oh, he had a bucket for you.
Every game. But it wasn't like you had that
Wasn't really
attention
ever
on him.
acknowledged for
Yeah.
Now he got acknowledged.
Now we
Got a
know
spotlight on him.
you gotta get this shit now. And I'm like, all right, maybe he got too much too early. And now it looks like he can be exposed.
He went his run was crazy.
I think it's hard to really judge because you remember he hurt his hamstring. And the only reason he came back is because that 65 game rule bullshit. Right? So you remember he even said it, well, because of the 65, I can't get my money. And he came back damn near the next day. So he doesn't, from his stats, he doesn't look like he was doing what he was doing before the injury. Right? So it seemed like he's more baby in it, so he's not offensively aggressive at trying to get his shots, right? It seemed like he's doing more settling from the three-point line.
But that's the mental, it's not the physical, because he's not out there lagging, he's not limping, he's not doing that. It may be a mental thing that he's took in the back seat to that because he can't get his rhythm back to that. But I think that offense was set up for him to get 17 assists, 2 turnovers.
The motherfucker's averaging, he took 22 shots, 28 shots, 22 before the injury, and he hasn't he has only taken 22 shots, over 20 shots one time since he's got back from the injury. Before that, he was taking 22, 28, 22, 20.
So that's the confidence that he had. The confidence.
Yeah, we saw the shooting drop. We had that whole big argument over him.
So it's one of those things I think, for the most part, I think because he has Siakam now, he didn't have him before.
Facts.
I think because he has Siakam, he has a guy who can get us the buckets in the half court. And I think he's just adjusted his game itself. Yeah, right? If they don't have Siakam, I think they're going to go more into the high octane.
Like it was
before.
Yeah.
Right? So
running.
I think they're a better team now because they have a dude who can actually go.
Yeah, he don't have to take the pressure off.
But at some point, you got to figure Doc Rivers, being your favorite head coach, being savvy at playoff adjustments, will try to shut down Siakam. So you're going to need Hallie, you're going to need Miles Turner and the rest of these guys to pick up the scoring load. But do you think Haliburton can do that based off what you've seen in these first 2 games?
And that's why I say Dame has to take that challenge, and Pat Bev has to take that challenge to say, do he got that in his game to give us 20, 25, and 13? Do he got that? Because Miles Turner, he going to get you his 10 and 12 or 15 and 6 or 7, but if you shut down Siakam, you depending on T.J. Conley.
TJ McConnell.
But that's what I'm saying.
Conley that got his fucking shit up to T.J. Conley.
I don't see. That's what I said. With that it's one of those things that we know he's capable. He averages 20, right? So I don't think that's a bluff that you want to try out and say, all right, we're going to focus on Siakam and just leave Hallie to do what Hallie was doing before Siakam got here, right? That's not what I want.
I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you?
Because he averages 20.
But hey,
right?
And if you do that, he might average 20 fucking assists.
Because but the problem is he's gonna
get the assists.
He's gonna get it's like
everyone around him
Jokic.
better.
They're gonna get the assists because that's what they do naturally.
Facts.
Right? So it's like, let's just sit off Miles and let Miles shoot 33s.
But their adjustment, I think Doc's adjustment last game, which why they lost, is what they allowed Siakam to do game 1, game 2. We're just letting him do him. But this game 2 was letting him do the same thing where the guys was hitting shots. Haliburton still wasn't doing nothing. He's 12 points, right? So if you can neutralize Siakam, if you can bring the attention to him and force Hallie to step up, does he step up? That's the question. Does he step up? Because who else is going to step up?
Offensively, too, for Bucks, I think Dame needs to reconsider how he's playing. And the reason I say that is shooting threes is contagious.
Yes.
Right? It's contagious. Right? Everybody wants to be a part of it. You know. Chicks love the long ball. Right? That's what I said. Chicks love the long ball. Right? Same thing.
Dame said, I need head.
Yeah. So no difference than like the fans and players, right? Dame comes out and he's shooting threes. He makes everybody else want to chuck them shits.
Yep.
Everybody else want to chuck them shits. So the fact that everybody's doing all this chucking and shit, nobody's doing what they need to do, because Dame in that first half, I think he was the only one that shot free throws.
Yep.
It was like him with 6, and I think somebody else had 2, then it was just 0 all the way across the board. So he needs to understand you can shoot threes and take these wild threes, but that entices everybody else to just settle. We cannot settle all the time. In the second half, he got better at it, because I think he was like, out of his first 11 or 12 shots, 11 was threes. It's like, you can't, because now he wants to shoot threes. And he wants to shoot.
Indiana's offense is so high-powered, even before Siakam got there. I don't think you even want to take that risk of letting them just run free, because you're all focused on Siakam, because clearly the team can score. They've been running the score up all year.
But the difference, I think, personally, is Middleton. Middleton is not, he's giving me Michael Redd decline in years vibe. Right? So Michael Redd, when he came off his All-Stars, before he had the Michael Redd was the killer. After that injury, you could see he was lingering with it. You know, it just wasn't the same.
He doesn't look like him.
He doesn't look the same. And giving me 15, 6 and 5, and 36 minutes, and Gil saying like, all right, we don't need Clay because Clay can't do what Middleton does, which is post up and get us this, that, and that. And he's not giving us that. No Giannis. You got 22 from Lopez, and most of those are threes. You got 34 from Dame, and most of those are threes. So now you got Portis, who's going to give you your 2s, because he's a mid-range guy, but he plays the power forward.
Yeah.
So Middleton.
You're not putting any pressure on the defense.
You got to give me 20.
Yeah.
Get that.
And India don't even play no defense.
Yeah, I know.
It should be easy.
Hey, Lopez, if I decided to say, all right, for giggles, hey, Lopez, let me push you up real quick.
For giggles.
Who's going to guard you?
Who the fuck is going to stop you down there?
Facts.
Like, are you forgetting you big slug down there, huh?
I don't think he forgot.
I got to see, I have Siakam on me. Oh, shit.
Doc.
Little guy.
Doc.
Oh, hey. No, whoa.
Doc.
No, don't be yelling. Oh.
Drop Brook.
Oh, okay.
Drop Brook. That's what I'm saying. Drop
I thought you were saying something negative.
No. Drop Brook.
I was about to swing on your play. I was about to swing on your player.
Where is Brook stuck at? 3-point line.
Top of the key.
Top of the key.
Hey, they playing 3-point line.
That's it. That's what they're running from.
3-point miles.
Yeah.
Take it easy, big fella.
Man, we good.
You good.
So imagine if you do pick and roll with Brook.
Cool.
You pick and roll with Brook and then throw it in and let him work down there, that's a different game.
When they go small, you got Siakam on drop. You know why? Because they doing it to you.
Yes.
Right? You switching on, he's saying, hold on. I'm just going to take you to the basket.
Yep.
I'm going to take you to the basket because there's nobody back there to block me. Like, if you don't block me, there ain't nobody back there to block me. And then if you jump and try to block me, we're going to get the offensive rebound because,
And that habit
there's nobody else.
That habit in pick and pop for Brook is such a habit, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
I hate it. I see it.
You fall in love with it.
He just fell in love with it a long time ago. It's like pick and pop. It's like you 7'2", bro. Roll to the basket, get that bitch and joker that bitch. You little joker. You could be little joker.
You have to make up for what Giannis brings to the game. So if Giannis was the driver that put
pressure on the rim.
Nobody is. That's it.
Nobody.
For the Bucks. They living and dying by the 3.
We're going to get it. Doc going to go to Indiana. We're going to have it's Indiana. We ain't got shit to do, right? We're going to be at was that the Benson? No. The core.
No. The Peabody.
No.
That's Memphis, right?
That's Memphis.
No, Peabody is Milwaukee.
No, Peabody Memphis with the Ducks, right?
No, we're playing Indiana, dog. We're going to Indiana.
That's the W.
No, that's a Conrad.
Conrad.
Yeah,
There it is.
shot it up.
Shout out to the Hilton family.
Conrad. Ain't that part of the Hilton, though? The Hilton Conrad?
You know,
Shout out Paris and Nikki.
make sure Doc got that presidential suite, man. Get the thinking, man, and we're going to go in there and we're going to smack them boys, baby.
We are still looking for a hotel sponsor, but let's move on to MostlyFans. As a reminder, support this show. Download the Underdog Fantasy app. Use promo code GIL. They will match your first deposit up to $100. Always a safe move to ride Doc Rivers.
Whoa.
Higher, lower. Ayo, pause. Oop, did a loop.
Excuse me.
Gil's riding Doc.
Whoa.
Yeehaw.
With the higher,
That was wild.
To the chip, baby.
That was wild.
To the chip.
Joe, son, that was wild as hell. Goddamn.
I'm on the Doc train like, yeah. Hey.
running a train with Doc.
Did y'all see Brandon at the game?
We saw Mr.
We seen him.
Like, I was offended. Like, hold on, bro. The reason we lost because you took your goofy ass down there. Your ass is, you supposed to be at the crypto. Your team is the Lakers, bro. You are the Lakers. Don't come down there with that dirty energy, dog.
Lakers was on the road.
Don't come down there with that dirty energy. You bringing us Buck fans, man. This ain't your team no more, dog.
Mr. B may or may not have swayed the game.
You got one
talking to Tony Brothers during the match.
Yeah. Putting that kind of pressure on us, man. Over there telling Tony Brothers, come on, Tony. He ain't even with us,
Tony,
dog.
as he's known.
He ain't even with us, dog. He's a Laker fan, dog. He's a Laker boy.
And the one game he went to, the niggas lost.
I'm like, how he get
Right.
the one game?
As soon as you showed up.
As soon as he showed up, man.
Got the ass whooped.
So first question is an email question from Underdog user Wamba Stan. Should the NBA split the Defensive Player of the Year award into Best Post Defender and Best Perimeter Defender? So make it 2 awards. So Best Perimeter Defender gets an award, Best Post Defender gets an award.
I like that. I like that.
No.
It's so hard now because this is what has been through history. So you can't change it up now because you've already made it a thing. Just like remember with the ball was coming in, and you know the guys today or back then was like, we don't want this ball because we don't want no advantage over the guys who started this game. If it's been leather, it's gonna stay leather, right? We don't want no help shooting better, getting easier, you know, things like that. Same thing with defense. If this has been the rules on how you determine defensive players, then you have to keep it the same way, right? And that's just the way it has to be.
Yeah. I feel like, and then there could be too much gray because then you do have some guards that are better post defenders, and you have some posts that can guard the perimeter better. So like, then how would you distinguish what stats trump what stats? Like maybe you have a big that gets more steals, but then you have a big that gets more defensive boards. I think it would just get too.
I think you just do guard Defensive Player of the Year and big man defensive player of the year.
But you can't. And the reason you can't is because it's not.
Because what if you're a really good guard defender and you just get posted up all the time because people don't want to
No, I'm just saying,
play you?
give you a guard Defensive Player of the Year. Like the guards, out of all the guards, who's the best defender?
But how do you
of the year?
quantify that?
Just same way
I mean,
you would.
the same way that guards don't get the Defensive Player of the Year that much now, because there's no way to always quantify what guards do on the court.
When Ron Artest won it twice, he won it because he was literally taking the ball from people, the deflections, the steals, being in the passing. All of those different things created metrics because the Indiana Pacers were a defensive team. He set the tone defensively as a guard. So you look at the bigs. The bigs usually win it because blocks is a big determining factor of defense.
Blocks and rebounds.
Right? So you look at those two compared to just steals. Like CP led the league in steals for so many years and never got Defensive Player of the Year. AR led the league in steals.
So what if a guard had hella defensive boards, not as many steals, and you have a guard that gets hella steals and not that many defensive boards?
But if you have a guard that's picking up full court, right? That's picking up full court, you can't get past him. Boom, 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 boom. Right now. That's like you can't get past him, but once you get into the half court, he's irrelevant to the defense because his mans are not scoring, your passes to the post. So his rating doesn't go anywhere. It's one of those things where it's like, whatever it is, just let us complain. You know what I mean? Just let us fucking complain because we're going to disagree with everything you got going on, right? You know, just like, you know, you giving the shit to Maxey, right?
Most improved player.
Most improved.
Everyone, there's a lot of people upset about that.
He's the number 0, so, you know, I'm going to give him his respect.
Good job,
I'm going to give him his
idea.
respect as being, you know, 0 and what he's done, but I don't think your most improved was warranted to how you finished the season versus, right, you have a +5 to what you did last year, right? All your scoring and all your shooting percentages were down besides your free throws. So 3-point shootage, field goal percentage shootage was down versus a guy who wasn't a starter, came off the bench, right? Started, had a +10. His shooting percentage was up, right? So you have these two factors. Now we're going to say, all right, what was the winning? How was your team affected winning? Well, they made the playoffs, right? You made the playoffs, but without your best player, you were 16-27. So without your best player, you were a bottom-feeding team under your realm, right? That all takes a part of it.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's like.
So we will get into that tomorrow.
Oh, too late. I already got into it.
Not enough, Gil. Not enough to get a good video clip out of it.
Just that one. I mean, I'm just saying.
That was a teaser, ladies
but
and
either
gentlemen.
one is 0, and both the 0s. So it's just like little things like that. It's like, y'all got it wrong. But I'm not mad at the person. His name was very high at the beginning.
So who are you saying he should have got it? Who should have got it?
Kobe White.
See?
Kobe White averaged 9 last year coming off the bench. He's averaging 19 this year. They made the, you know.
Absolutely.
Right, you know what I mean? That's the assists went up, everything went up. You know, young fella averaged 20 this year, 25.9. Embiid went down. We were saying he was it because they were winning.
Yeah.
Embiid, your record is, you know, trash. Yeah. You know, as you being a leader, and y'all take it. Embiid had to come back to put you guys in the playoffs. So you being the most improved, kind of like
Well, that's a good place to wrap up.
I'm sorry.
It's all good, Gil. You just, you know.
Just sometimes
messing up people's workflow.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just like little things like that. Like, we're going to complain about it because we're players, right? And it's just, we see the game different because we're in it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like little things like that. Like, that's what I said. Like, even with us, we're going to argue top 5, top 10 until we fight. So how the fuck are y'all coming up with a list? How the fuck y'all coming up with a list? You put 10 of us in there, ain't no motherfucking MVP. God damn it. Ain't no MVP, bro.
Come on here and debate.
Hey, look, we ain't even part of it, but just us arguing about it, we might throw blows on who is the real MVP.
That's bullshit.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga. You talking what'd you just call me? What'd you just say about my mama?
Get your hand out my pocket.
It means more in the arena. We appreciate all y'all for watching the show today. Lex, we appreciate you pulling up. Rashad, we appreciate you as always. And the I Need Head t-shirt.
I do.
Should be available.
If you have anybody that you know gives good head, tell them DM me.
Yeah. This is Gil's Arena presented by Underdog.
Females only.
You better put that.
Females only.
And the real ones.